Hello, and welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. There we go. Hello. Welcome to ThursdAI. This is Alex Volkov coming to you live from Denver. It's a little bit later than we usually start, but I hope some of you who joined us on the live stream saw a few of the openers that were prepared by Claude and Hyperframes. I'm going to tell you all about this. Today is a big day. NS41. If that means anything to anyone here, then you are too connected to X. You need to leave your house and go touch some grass. But if it means nothing to you, and if you're asking in our chats, what is NS31? Everybody's saying NS31 is today. Then we'll tell you all about this. But plus, we have a huge show. And to help me through kind of explaining everything that happened in the world of AI today, let's bring up some co-hosts here. We'll get Ryan Carson, who's back, Wolf from Ravenwolf, Jan Peleg, and LDJ. What's up, folks? How are you doing? Let's start with our long-lost brother, Ryan Carson. Welcome back, dude.
People What's up?
Let's go.
Everybody, it's so good to be here. I was in Japan with my family, and I'm back.
You are back, and you chose a hell of a week to be back, man.
I'm excited. Good to be here.
It's a crazy week. Were you up to date at all, or were you just like disconnecting? So we need to keep you up to date.
This is the problem, man. You can't turn off now. And I can code from my phone. So yeah, I didn't go anywhere.
You didn't disconnect, just different time zone. We'll say hi to Wolf from What's Up. How you doing?
Hey. I'm not. It's hard to keep up with all the model releases. The benchmarks take time, the analysis takes time, and when you are done with one, the next one is already there. But I'm not complaining. I mean, this is the acceleration we've been waiting for, so keep going.
This week definitely felt accelerated. My usual spiel is that, hey, until Wednesday, I kind of like, here's a piece of news, and then only until I start preparing the show notes, which we're serious business here, folks. We have like a round of show document and everything. But not only until Wednesday do I start feeling that, oh my God, there's so much to talk about. No, I knew that this week is going to be insane from the moment we ended the last episode. Because the moment we ended that episode, Codex dropped a huge new update. We didn't have enough time to tell you about this. And then I went on 4 live streams since then. So some of you, like Milos and some folks in the audience, have been with me throughout all these live streams. So welcome to live stream number 5. Since the last show, we have tons to talk about. Jan Peleg, how are you doing, man? What's new? I see the glasses. Are you ready for NS41?
Have you guys seen Quen?
Which of the Quens? There's 2 Quens, man. Which one?
The one that gives you Opus 4.5 at home. that kind of one. And Codex, and there are also some rumors. Spreading rumors.
It's not even rumors, bro. It's not even rumors.
Not even rumors at this
point. If you go to the OpenAI official account, they posted something that says NS41. And NS41 in base 64 is basically 5.5. If you take the string that they posted, convert it back from base 64, you get 5.5. So we are going to have...
Conspiracy confirmed. That's
conspiracy confirmed. It's not that big of a conspiracy. Yeah. They leaked it in Codex. Let's just say somebody saw a screenshot in Codex with a bunch of other models that we also have to talk about. Again, folks who are just joining us, OpenAI is about to drop a new model. We don't know when. So we're really, really hoping that they know that ThursdAI is going on and just going to drop in the middle. They love dropping in the middle. So we will ask you in the audience. I'll talk directly to you, the audience. Please, if you are monitoring the situation like us, send us a link in the chat that if anything happens for OpenAI, in case we're getting too excited about the show and we're all in this debate, tell us that you're seeing the OpenAI is about to launch something. But there's a bunch of open source as well. I think we should probably start with very soon. LDJ, what's up? What is on your mind? What is the one thing that must not be missed today in AI from last week?
From last week, or from the past 7 days.
Since we finished ThursdAI last.
Yeah, well, since he already mentioned Quen, I'll mention Kimi. So Kimi's model seems pretty impressive. I think, as usual, Kimi seems to be the one that's maybe less academically minded than Quen, but kind of more creative, more poetic, kind of more diverse in its outputs. And I think it'll be especially interesting to see what types of web designs that people make out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Kimi K 2.6. Let's just make sure that folks who follow us know exactly, because Kimi was out there for a while. All right, folks, I think it's time maybe to start with the TLDR. Folks are saying in comments that the FOMO is unreal. I agree, Hila. The FOMO is unreal. Somebody wants to ask us a question. Folks are saying they're watching Twitter like a hawk, monitoring the situation. Just for folks not to be confused, this show is not called Monitoring the Situation. You're on ThursdAI. There's a different show called Monitoring the Situation. We've been at this for way longer than theirs, and we're significantly deeper diving than just covering the news. So hopefully we'll dive deep. I think it's time for the TLDR. We'll tell you about everything that happens in the TLDR section before we actually get to the deep dives. And then we will definitely wait for GPT 5.5 today. We'll stay on air for 10 hours if we have. No, we're not going to stay on air for 10 hours. That's not going to happen. Some of us have work to do, editing to do. But we're really hoping that OpenAI will stay true to the name and drop GPT 5.5 in around an hour. That's usually when we do this. If there's going to be a live stream, we will restream this. So we did with GPT Image, by the way. My big thing from this week. I have two, but I have to focus on one. But I have two. It's really hard. I have three. In this case, I'll just go to the TLDR. Like I won't go through three one things that must not be missed. But it's been a hell of a week, and it's about to get disrupted even more. Right. So let's jump into our corner called the TLDR, where we talk about everything that we're gonna run. I'm gonna do hopefully a quick one. We are in the TLDR. Let's add Nistan. We are doing the TLDR. I'm having trouble sharing my screen. Of course. Just give me just 1 second. Meanwhile, let me welcome Nistan to the show. Nistan, can you tell us, please, what's good about this last week? While I'm gonna go on a quick refresh.
Local AI is finally happening, and people are taking it seriously, mainly because they can now run things like Hermes on it. And also companies like Quen are focusing more at that model category. So the 30B, the 27B. And it's finally happening, guys, to the point where it's good enough now to do most of the regular things. I can't really code with it. I mean, you can, but you're not gonna maintain a large code base with the Quen. Also, I don't know why more people don't do this, but you can have a dumb model coordinate to smarter models. It's not that hard to fire up a bunch of Claude-P commands and just get it to do a whole bunch of things. Anyway, myself, I'm back to running Ralph because I cannot handle Opus 4.7 otherwise. So I started rewriting. It's
the temptation to build your own harness is real, but don't give in, Nistan.
Oh no, I did. I already did, but
Ryan's still against this. Still, the harness minimalist.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you can spend your whole life vibe coding your own shit, and sometimes you just got to pay for it. We lost our host. Did he just decide he has better things to do?
I'm back. He decided that some technical things need fixing in the middle.
I thought you were busy or something, you know?
No, I can't share my screen. I have no idea what's going on, folks. 3.5 years of doing the show. and now I can show you the TLDR section. I'm just going to read it out because the show must go on. And
he went to build his own harness.
Yeah, I hit share like all my tabs. I probably need to restart for now. Okay, as I said, TLDR. I'm just gonna read this with no visuals. How does that sound? It's gonna be like a podcast, no visuals. All right, folks. We have your host and guest here. My name is Alex Volkov, and the AI Avengers with Weights and Biases. Your host for today, co-hosts. We have everyone. Everyone's here. Finally, yes, Ryan Carson to my right. I don't know if you guys see it mirrored, but like Ryan Carson right here, Wolf from Raven Wolf, LDJ down there. Jan Peleg, and Nistan Tahir. We have no guests today. It's just us. I think that's going to be plenty because there's tons of stuff to talk about. So, okay, the number one thing we have to talk about is GPT Image v2, folks. OpenAI released finally the response to what Google has had a leadership in for a long time. GPT Image v2 is in the API in Codex, is OpenAI's new image model, and it renders images up to 4K resolutions. It's a thinking and reasoning image model, so it means that the more thinking you give it, the better it does. It does insane things like generating full-on QR codes. Barcodes. It does equirectangular images in 3D. It's absolutely insane. Production grade editing workflows. Some of the imagery, if you saw the thumbnails for the show, were generated with Image v2. It's great character consistency. It's not the perfect, nothing is, but it's really, really, really good. So we're going to talk about this. It's so good. It's just fucking. OpenAI just knocked it out of the park with this one. I'll have to fix the showing part because I really want to show you stuff. But it broke out in the ELO Arena score by a significant margin. I don't know if you guys saw this. And we went on a live stream, me and Peter Gosta from Arena, and he went through like a very detailed breakdown. So definitely, if you missed any part of this, you want more examples than we'll show you today, check that out. OpenAI's internal models leaked, so we know the GPT 5.5 is ready to go. We don't know when, but OpenAI today posted on their account NS41, which is base 64 for GPT 5.5. There's other models in there in that leak. Code names like Arcanine and Glacier-Alpha and GPT-Rosalind. And like, I have no idea what those are, but I definitely know the 5.5 is ready to go from leaks. No background information at all. Also in big companies in the LEMS, one big one was Claude Design. I don't know if you guys tried that, but that is fucking magical. This released on Friday. This is a design, early preview of something. And you know as well as I do that many people use Claude to do some designs. Many people use the Figma MCP, blah, 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 blah. They released the whole thing on Friday that crashed the Figma stock by like 5%. And I can see why. It's not a Figma replacement, but oh my God, that UI is so good. I will absolutely have to fix my shit to show you because I generated a whole brand guidelines for ThursdAI with the logo and everything. And some of the opening responses, this is, some of the opening videos that I showed you here is the result of that brand guidelines. They have added a new usage meter in Claude Max settings. This is only available for Claude Max subscribers. And I blew through that like nobody's business. Like it's just, I can't use it until tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be able to show you something. Also in big companies in news, have you guys heard of this VS Code clone code Cursor? Anybody here heard about Cursor?
What's that? I don't know.
Apparently Elon Musk did. And apparently Elon Musk is ready to give them $10 billion to experiment inside the GPU system of xAI. And apparently, if that is successful, there is a $60 billion deal to buy Cursor into xAI.
It's basically $60 billion to buy it with a $10 billion break clause. So yep. I think it's going to happen.
There's going to be a lot of training happening, and they're going to test I have a very interesting take on this. But yes, it's insane. SpaceX and Cursor, SpaceX, xAI, and X are all going to IPO at some point very, very soon. Probably the $60 billion is just like, Elon's going to sneeze and going to like reap $60 billion out of the air. So it's not that big a deal. It's just the fact that Cursor is valuated at that price point right now is just absolutely mind-blowing insane. Specifically because just 2 weeks ago, we talked about IDs being dead. And then a week ago, also we had folks from Devin and other places to talk about IDs. Okay, so this is big news. In open source, we have 2 big releases this week, also very big releases, full on. We have a full show to talk about these releases. Moonshot AI, open source Kimi K2.6. It's a 1 trillion parameter mixture of experts claiming open source state-of-the-art on Sweetbench Pro. And we have Wolfram that I think tested this out, and we can talk about Kimi K2.6 already. And a browser comp as well. Great evals all around. And then Quen, our friends from Alibaba Quen, released week after week, they keep releasing things. This one is Quen 3.6 27B. It's a dense 27B model. Last week we talked about the MOE of Quen. This is a dense Quen that beats their own flagship 397 billion parameter on every major coding benchmark. So 27 billion parameter model beats their almost 400 billion parameter model. We're going to talk about that one as well. In one of the biggest updates from this week, I'm pretty sure, is that in tools and agentic engineering, somebody said 3.6. Did I say a different number? Yeah, Quen 3.6. That's what I said.
2.6.
No, give me K 2.6. Quen 3.6.
Yeah, Quen 3.6.
Yes.
It's just
yeah, there's too many
You
points.
can't keep them straight. I don't know.
It's hard. That's why I have notes that I can't show you. But I'll hopefully be able to fix this once one of you starts talking for a minute. Okay, tools and agentic engineering. This is a corner where we talk about, many of the folks who watch the show, many of you who didn't used to be AI engineers are becoming AI engineers, working with AI. Tools and agentic engineering is an important corner. One of the biggest upcoming things in tools and agentic engineering is that OpenAI is trying to catch up to Anthropic. And Anthropic passed the $30 billion valuation, blah, blah, blah. We talked about this. ARR, not valuation. It's a small distinction. Anthropic passed $30 billion in ARR, not valuation. Codex from OpenAI has passed 4 million users. That's a big one. And last week, at the end of the show, we told you that they released a bunch of stuff, and we absolutely missed on the most important thing. Codex now can do computer use. Now, you may say, hey, Alex, hey. Claude could do computer use for a while. Why are you so... No, you don't understand. You have to understand this. A year ago, this is TLDR still, but I'm going to go on a little spiel. A year ago, OpenAI bought this company, like 6 months ago. They bought Software Incorporated, Software Apps Inc., the folks who used to almost release a thing called Sky. These folks created shortcuts on iOS. These folks built some stuff inside Apple. Their computer use, only on macOS for now, is incredible. I don't know how many of you Mac users. I'm assuming Wolfram, you have a Mac, but also a PC. Ryan, I'm pretty sure you're on Mac. I saw your videos. Yam, I don't know about you. Nistan, you're a Linux guy. Their computer use is insane. It works while you work. I will have to show this. I will start the stream and start a new one just to show you that you guys don't understand how cool that thing is. It's just incredible. And they're promising a speed up of 10x. They're saying we just started experimenting with this. Just incredible computer use. But also Codex now supports image generation. Last week it was GPT Image 1.5, but now Codex supports GPT Image 2. It's really, really good. They have plugins and consistent automations, but Codex computer use is something I want to show. Also, they released something called Chronicle. I don't know if you guys saw Chronicle. Chronicle is do you guys remember Rewind AI? The thing that watches your screen all the...
Oh, yeah.
Codex now watches your screen, takes screenshots every 10 seconds, and has full context into everything that you're doing on your computer. It's magical. It's creepy as fuck, but it's magical. Supposedly, it doesn't go to OpenAI, supposedly, but I really like it. So Codex has big updates. And also in tools and agentic engineering, Brex, the CEO of Brex nonetheless, released open source CrabTrap. It's an LLM as a judge proxy that you give your agents, and it judges whether or not your agent is doing something illegal. It's really, really cool. Also in open source, I completely forgot because my notes are not perfect. OpenAI released a new model in Apache 2. Did you guys see this? It's incredible. I think... I will need to go and bring this up because I don't have the full details, but OpenAI released on Hugging Face.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Tiny model
so
classifier.
It's a model for helping identify and remove personally identifiable information within data sets. So whether that's a company wanting to make a fine tune on their own personal data or for whatever other reason, this is something really useful. It's
so useful, and we're gonna have a demo for you as well from our friend Zenova from Transformers.js because it runs in the browser. It's a 1.5 billion parameter model, but it's MOE with 50 million active, so it's very, very tiny and runs quick. It's a privacy filter model. It's very important to have, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's this CrabTrap thing that I told you about. You absolutely use this model in the middle of it. Ryan, go ahead.
Two other things from big companies I think we're going to cover, but just to make sure we do. OpenAI just released their workspace agents, which I think is a big deal. And then also they just released this clinician model / product for doctors. So there's a lot of stuff coming out of OpenAI right now.
OpenAI has been dominating this week. There's no doubt about this in my mind, and they're about to execute a killer blow today, hopefully at some point. LJ, go ahead.
It's something you mentioned earlier in the leaks was GPT-Rosalind, which that was actually something that was announced last Thursday, but I think we didn't get to cover it. But just a really quick summary of it is basically it's a specialized model they developed for things like drug discovery and related operations happening in biotech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. We aim for full coverage. Folks in comments, if we're missing any parts, please let us know as well. So the last thing that we were landed on is a bunch of stuff from OpenAI. I think the Apache 2 one is very important. Like OpenAI is open sourcing again. It's really, really, really good. I think, in this week's buzz, we have our TUI. Everybody's like gung-ho about TUIs. Weights and Biases also has a TUI. It's called 1B Elite, and it has a bunch of updates, including we're now showing you GPU stats inside the TUI, and that's really, really good. And also, Wolfram is going to talk about some open source and not only open source evals. Wolfram, you want to give us a highlight, 1 or 2 sentences from the eval so people have something to wait for?
Yeah, Opus 4.7. I've evaluated it and compare it to the old one and in which agent it works the best. And also the same for Kimi K2.6. Which is the best model I've ever tested in the open source department. And
Kimi
spoiler,
K2.6 is the best model you ever tested.
Both are the best. Opus is the best model I tested on the Wolfbench from the proprietary models, and Kimi 2.6 is the best model in the open source department. So that was the best.
That's surprising. That's actually surprising. Okay.
Yeah, it's always more differential when you look at it closely, though. We'll look at it where it's really good and where not.
We absolutely know what folks are waiting for. Wolfram, I think we started with open source. Let's start there. We have 2 incredible models to cover. Let's start with Kimi K2. We'll just go to open source and we'll start there. Open source AI, let's get it started. All right, let's get it started. I have no idea how quickly all y'all put glasses in the 13 seconds that this transition was in there, but I love it. I think every transition should show up with different clothes and like props and everything. That'd be very, very cool. But also open source AI. Let's get it started. Wolfram, please take it away. LDJ and Nistin, I count you guys to support Yam as well. Open source. Let's start about Kimi K2. I'll just like do the intro. Okay. This week, Moonshot AI, the Chinese company Moonshot AI, decided to finally update their Kimi K2.5 to a new model, K2.6. It's a 1 trillion mixture of experts model. They are claiming open source state of the art on agentic coding on stuff like Sweetbench Pro. 32 billion parameters active with 384 experts, MLA attention, 256K context window, and a modified MIT license. So not fully open, etc. It gets Sweetbench Pro at 58.6. Sweetbench Pro is the difficult more version of Sweetbench Verified, which we don't no longer cover. Please take it away and tell us why this model slaps. Wolfram, you started something. And Yam, welcome to join as well.
Do you want me to look at the benchmark results already, or do we do it in the...
No, you can show benchmarks. Yeah, I can show anything. So do something visual for the audience.
Yeah, you already gave the technical details, and Kimi has always been a special model to me because, like LDJ said, it is not so robotic like other models. It has, from the beginning when it came out, Kimi K2, it started to be very good at the writing department and felt really, really good and creative. And when it came out, it always was one of the top models. So the new version, it is not just the top among the open source, but it is also top among, I would say, it even beats proprietary models. Let me show you what Wolfbench has shown. I will just open the page and share it. So, okay, we definitely have to fix the zoom first because there's so much information on here. And just a quick thing about Wolfbench. I'm not just looking at the average score, but I'm also looking at how many % of the benchmark can it solve and how many does it consistently for the different models in different harnesses. So what we are now doing is basically we are looking at Kimi K2.6, which I tested from the Moonshot directly, and comparing it to just Sonnet and the other models that are even better, still better. But it beats, for example, Kimi bet Gemini 3.1 Pro preview. And of course, it's better than the old one and all the others. So it's the best open source model I have tested so far. And if we look at it closely, it is basically on the Sonnet level, very, very close to this. And the different colors are different benchmark agents. Terminus 2 is a terminal bench 2.0 basic agent, which is the default. You always see if somebody gives the terminal bench score, it is this agent. I also tested Claude Code, but this is not relevant for this, so I will just remove it. And Hermes Agent OpenClaw, these are also the agentic stuff. And Terminal Bench is an agentic benchmark, and I care about which agent works the best with this. And if we look at Kimi K2.6 and looking at the Terminal Bench and just Terminus 2, then it, like I said, is better than Gemini 3.1 Pro. And if we take OpenClaw, for instance, now it is even better than Opus 4.6 in this, which is a super amazing score. We get 59%, which is the best open source model score I've ever seen with OpenClaw. And if you look at Hermes, there, interestingly, the harness makes a big difference. So in this case, it gets basically the same score with OpenClaw. So they are almost the same here, but Hermes Agent is still better with Opus 4.6. So it depends what you are doing. But if you want to use an open source model, definitely Kimi K2.6 is the one to go for.
Did you have any trouble with the tool calling? I'm just hearing from a lot of people that the tool calling setup was a bit confusing for them. That were trying to run it on their own, or was that okay? It seems like it was completely okay here.
Yeah, I was using OpenRouter and the Moonshot AI endpoint, and I did not have problems with this.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is, in the OpenClaw benchmark and in the Hermes benchmark as well, I do not even tell it that it is running as an agent. I'm just using the default setup, so no custom prompts. I think it could get even better if you tell it, do not ask the user some questions, because some tasks failed because the model couldn't figure it out on its own. So it tried to ask the user, but there was no user to answer in the benchmark. So it could be even better with prompting, which is another level to look at.
I just want to mention, there is no doubt that the scores are high. However, the scores are, this is a very low tech solution. I hope you can see. We have a report from Brightmind that the model might be a little bit benchmarked. What we see here is a rendering of a lava lamp by Kimi, and by the other leading models. You are more than welcome to go and check Brightmind's profile to see the exact source for this. I hope you can see anything. Basically, what you see is that the lava lamp doesn't look well at all, and all the other models that he is comparing with are producing pretty nice lava lamps. As you can say, I wish I could show it to you in a normal way. All I'm saying is that benchmarks are not everything, and I just want to push back and give the other side of this because clearly the benchmarks are high. So yeah,
it's the best one I've tested with the agentic test. So I can only say that. Everybody has to do their own experiments, of course. I think benchmarks are a great way to see which models are worth to look at in more detail. Because if they fail completely on a benchmark, it's probably not worth to invest the time to test it with your own test. But if they are really good, that is a model you should look at.
Yeah, you also have to keep in mind, sorry, Alex, that 3D performance, that's something that they have to train for and need a lot of data sets for. So it might be very good agentically and as a tool and just not be great at all to do stuff in 3D. For example, the new Quen, the closed source Quen, the 3.6 max preview was pretty bad for me when it came to stuff like 3JS and making animations and things in 3D. But it looked great at everything else. So there's also, but yeah, the frustrating thing is that there is benchmarking going on, but the models are also good. So it's getting a bit hard to tell in that regard.
So I wanted to join this. I'm back, by the way. Hopefully now for good. That I've tested this model myself as well. if you guys are still on Kimi's. And I remained unimpressed. I tested it on a bunch of stuff. It feels like it's overthinking too much, and it gave a lot of. Well, I don't know if you mentioned this. Sorry, I dropped, but like definitely there's like way too much thinking going on to achieve something. So the scores that they showed, they don't usually show the times as well, and that's something that we need to like start thinking about as well. Like how long does it take that model to get to that score? Something that I don't think publish. That's why Terminal Bench has the cutoff, right? Like how much you can do.
Yeah, we can also look at how many tokens it generated. I'm actually writing an article for our blog about this, where I'm looking at a comparison that will go much more deeply into this. Because this has also been one of the most expensive open source benchmarks I did, because it takes so many tokens to respond. That is something you don't see when you just look at the scores. But I'm also working at a way to visualize that as well in a future update of Wolfbench.
All right, folks, are we ready to move on to the next open source? Let's talk about Qwen. We have a bunch of other stuff to talk about, but let's talk about Qwen 27B. Who got super excited about this? Listen, I think I heard you guys say LDJ as well.
Oh yeah, is my audio okay? By the way, there's landscapers cooking outside.
Your audio, we hear some landscapers, but also like you're coming to a little bit louder than usual. But let me just while you fix this, let me just like say the thing, folks. Alibaba released another Qwen for us. It's Qwen 3.6 27B dense model. Last week they released the MOE version of a very similar size. This one is a dense model, which means just one model, no MOE, 15x smaller total parameters than their flagship 397B, almost 400 billion MOE, and it beats it. It wins on every coding benchmark. A model 15 times the size. It's Apache 2 license. It gets a Swebench verified. I don't care about Swebench verified. I'm just skip. Terminal Bench at 59 matches Claude 4.5 Opus exactly. This is, we keep talking about like benchmarking or not benchmarking. This 27 billion parameters model matches Opus 4.5. This is quite crazy. Yami, have comments.
Ladies and gentlemen, Opus at home.
Opus at home.
4.5 at
on
home.
Terminal Bench. If you're running exactly the things you're doing in Terminal Bench, you have Opus at home.
No problem. If this is what you're doing, you get Opus at home.
Yep.
Just saying. Yeah. It's a really good model, man. And it's a dense model.
People that are
you can't go better than that.
Yeah.
You can't go better than that. That's the top, man. And the guy, what his name is just gonna drop a new fine-tuning version of it, like Super Qwen Dense 27B, and it's gonna be even better, like tomorrow or something. Man, it's just like Christmas every day in AI. Seriously,
with Onslaught,
every day you get something. Yeah.
With Onslaught's dynamic GGUFs, which we had Daniel Hunt from Onslaught here on the show, great dude, and they're doing incredible things. This runs on 18 gigabytes of RAM. This is it. Like Opus at home runs on 18 gigabytes of RAM. Unlike the Kimi model that we just told you about before, which is a 1 trillion parameter that only us at CoreWeave and some other folks can run, you're not gonna pay for Kimi. Let's be very clear. Nobody here is going to host their own Kimi unless the business pays for it. It does not make sense financially. It just does make sense. If you are at that level of paying, just pay for the max account, whatever API is, right? But there is this thing where like, oh, we like open source, but also there's this thing we like open models, local models, local models. This is an open local model. 18 gigabytes of RAM is very affordable and goes around, and so like definitely some folks will like to run this.
It's more like Sonnet 4.5 at home when people are actually using it. When it comes to terminal stuff, it's very good. It's on par with Opus. And when it comes to judging things visually, it is very good. There were some issues that people had with 3.6, so it's not quite plug and play where you just replace it as the proxy for Claude code. They notice very different issues like managing hard Git merges and stuff that it was making a mess at. So it's not quite there, but people do feel like it is Sonnet 4.5 at home, and that is a huge deal because that can do most of your non-important tasks now, and you can do it. You can buy a used 3090 for under $1,000 and run it. This is the biggest change here, because yes, we always talked about open models, but people had to run like 43090s at home or figure out some crazy setup. Now it's becoming, you can just go and buy a 24 gig Mac Mini and run it and just run Hermes on it and check your emails and everything.
Bro, I've been running Sonnet 4.5 for a long time. It's absolutely usable, man. It's usable. Like it's great. It's great. I'm taking Sonnet at home. I'm taking Sonnet 4.5 for what is it? For $700, $600, 3090. Man, we never had this.
And you pair this now with OpenAI's privacy filter model, which I find the architecture of this tiny 1.5B just completely insane, because it's a mixture of
listen, don't skip. We have to announce the next piece of news. You can just skip.
All right. We'll segue into that. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, let's segue into that. Like Nista, you just did the job, folks. The last piece in open source news that we're going to cover before we jump into like a bunch of other stuff is OpenAI is open again. OpenAI is open again. First of all, let's just say Codex is open. The whole thing about cloud code, code leaks, whatever. Codex has been open source since the beginning, so there's openness in OpenAI. But also, OpenAI is open sourcing models again. Not LLM models, but fine. They open sourced privacy filter, and let me just show you, because I finally can. I went on a journey to do this. Let me just show you privacy filter. Are we seeing privacy filter?
Not yet. But have you seen what they comment? They also comment some stuff on the timeline.
Oh, there's new comments about privacy filter or something else?
No. They have comments about other models. Like other providers.
So hopefully you can see now. This is quite awful, but okay. Privacy filter does this. So if you watch my screen, you can see that there's a text that's marked, "Hey, private person, here's a time scheduled for private date, and here's a account number, private account number." This is kind of boring to show you, but basically privacy filter is all about PII, private identifiable information. So the stuff that, you're afraid that your OpenClaw is going to leak, for example. They also call API keys also privacy stuff. Let me just show you the best damn example from a friend of the pod, Zenova, who just built this incredible demo, because this privacy filter is so small, it runs on your computer. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna show you this privacy filter demo
on your browser, on a CPU, on any browser.
This runs on browser. You can see the loading model goes 20s, 25, 30. You can see this, right? And
that's really important, by the way.
This is me downloading and loading the model into memory. This is me downloading and loading the whole model into memory. It's about 1.5 gigabytes. It's not that big. I think it's even more quantized. Actually, let me see if I can zoom in here, zoom out. And we have this case file, this beautiful case file. Let me make sure that you guys can see this. Okay, you open up and you see this text. This morning review began with a careful note from our CEO, Sam Altman. It looked harmless, but it still contained contact details, blah, blah, blah. There's a date here, my birthday, there's a phone number. You hit this beautiful redact button. They run the model with beautiful effects. And the model super quickly identifies there's one person name, there's one email, and there's one phone number. I don't know how, like, he posted this demo like a second after this model got released, so like this beautiful demo, and there's a date. Also, you can do your own thing. You can build your own page and just like put everything in there. So we're gonna do a new page, and we're gonna say, hey, this is Alex Volkov coming to you live from Denver, Colorado at 1245 Basement Street, comma. With me, we have Wolfram Ravenwolf, Jan Peleg, Niston, and Ryan Carson as well, showing up on October 17th, 2056. All right.
This is such a cool demo.
And then we're going to hit redact. And we'll see what is going to come. So you guys see that it's not perfect. Okay, so I hopefully I can zoom. Oh, I can zoom. Yes, amazing. Okay. So this is, you can see Alex Volkov cut, and then Denver, Colorado at 2445 Basement Street, it didn't catch. Now, it's very interesting because it's not a real street, so I gotta wonder if that's the reason. But if we change this to, let's say, I don't know, Xantia Street, let's say. Oh, Xantia Street. I didn't even know that this works, and let's try to redact again. No, so you see it's like not a foolproof model. But you can see names. It got Wolfram's name, which is not a very standard name. It's a acronym. Jan Peleg,
Jan.
Nistadin, and this is my Ryan Carson. And also, it didn't get this October 17th to 2026. But if we do October 17th, 2056, let's say, I think it'll catch it. No. That's very interesting. So we got some failure modes of this model. But this thing runs super quick live. Why is this important, folks? Here's an example of why is this important. I'm going to drop an actual key live on stream. I'm going to drop one of my keys that I can rotate. I'm going to do it behind the scenes so you guys won't see. Okay? Go open up a web password, and I'm going to drop an actual API key. They redact API keys as well. Okay? So I'm going to drop, here's my API key. I'm going to test it out before. And I will show you that this model now redacted the API key so you can't see. Now, I can't hover above it, so somebody's going to snipe my API key, but this was my key for Kimi Moonshot, for example. I just pasted it, and the model caught it. Now, the visual part is visual, right? So shout out to Zenova for this like beautiful, beautiful demo. This, I think this is like one of the best demos that we've seen of any kind of model. He pushed it live, so shout out to Zenova from Hugging Face. But why is this important? It's important because, well, first of all, it's important for OpenAI. OpenAI trains on a bunch of people's data, not yours if you're paying, but it says, like, supposedly on free people, they use OpenAI, they go into this contract where you get free models, OpenAI gets data, right? That data, they don't want to train on people actual, like, personal identifiable data. They want privacy. They want to anonymize this thing. This is how they anonymize. They also, the reason why they open source this model is so that other people can say, hey, there's a failure mode when you spell out the date. So, for example, OpenAI, if you're watching, hey, this is Alex. If you spell out the date, there's a failure mode. And also, it didn't catch Denver's fake addresses that I put in there. Folks, thoughts on this architecture-wise? LDJ, go ahead. You were first, and then we'll go around.
Yeah, I want to add a quick clarifier on the OpenAI training on data, at least. Of course, it's possible for corporations to lie, but the policy, at least for OpenAI, is for free users, it is by default on for improving the model for everyone training on the data. However, in the settings, it is an option to turn that off, even if you're not a paying user. Of course, like I said, it's possible for corporations to lie, but that's the policy at least.
Yep. That's definitely a policy. And let's talk about the model itself. It's a 1.53. Wolfram, go ahead.
I think this is a very important model if you think about the agentic use cases, like when you have your OpenClaw and Hermes agent running, and it's always a threat that it is leaking data that goes out. So if you use this as basically an intermediate model that checks what goes in and out, it could redact the data and notify you. I think that is an important security measure for using agents in a more secure way.
100%, 100%. And this is why the categories that they have there, let me go back and tell you the categories that they are focusing on. They're focusing on, where is this? Give me a second. The categories, they have private person, so everything, name, last name, etc., like identifiable information, private address, email and phone, private URLs as well. So apparently, like, this blocks URLs. Now, private dates, and also account number and secret. Account number and secret are two of the most like important things, I think. So account number is everything related to bank account. Literally, I can show you that I posted an example here. This is my email today to somebody at AI Engineer Miami, where I requested reimbursement for flights. This literally includes my phone number and my account number and routing number in here. So I was not afraid to post this because like it redacted the whole thing. Obviously, I reviewed it before. Again, you should not trust this model completely. You should definitely review. But I think the thing is with agents. Other agents, LLM as a judges to review this. Supposedly, like GPT 4.5 can do this in a structured way. This model is so much smaller that you can run this in the browser. This is the thing, the important part. You can run this as part of CrabTrap. CrabTrap from the CEO of Brex is something also that we wanted to tell you about. There's no way I'm going to find CrabTrap on Google because obviously it's just a new name, so we're going to find it on next. CrabTrap. This is a proxy for agents that that you run everything that your agent is doing via like an LLM as a judge. And this model, something like this model, is definitely a huge deal for like a proxy, like Wolfram said, because your agent, the whole fear that people are fearing is that, you know, there's two things there. One, it can run some scripts and like eject some stuff, but also it can just like reply to someone after being prompt ejected and say, hey, my owner's bank account is this. So we definitely don't want to do this. Great model. Privacy filter is on Hugging Face. And what else is very important there? Oh, it's multilingual as well. Did you guys see this? It's great not only in English, which is a very standard thing with very small models. Great in Hindi, in Japanese, in Mandarin Chinese, in Turkish, in Urdu, in Korean, in Russian. We can actually test it out in other languages. But any other comments, folks? What else do we want to talk about?
The architecture is completely crazy. It's only 50 million active parameters. So it will use 1.5 gigs on your browser. It's only using 50 megs of RAM for active inference. So this is one of the most compressed things. And I am not an OpenAI fan. I canceled my GPT, my ChatGPT like over 2 years ago and never used it. I also didn't like GPT OSS all that much, although I appreciate it. I think this is one of the most important models that they've ever made. And if you start to count total amount of tokens processed in the future, this might be the model that just processes the most tokens out of all of them. Because it makes it very cheap and very easy for you to just filter everything, either at home, commercially, at scale. It does not hurt to put this in. Before, if you were going to use like a Llama Guard or something model, that was something you had to test and set up on your own. And it was somewhat expensive. Even running a 3B at scale, it can be expensive. You do need infrastructure. You do need GPUs. And for this one, you don't. You can just do the filtering right away. And you should use this everywhere. You can run client side on the browser before they even give you the data. Like that's just such a huge enablement. It's the most. Yeah, I think this is the most important open source model that they've ever released, other than Whisper.
Ryan and LDJ.
So quickly to touch on Crabtrap. So I think this is very important because as more and more of us have digital employees attached to us or digital employees deployed throughout our organization, like R2 is my OpenClaw. The thinking behind Crabtrap is that you can't manage a digital employee fast enough, right? They're too fast. And you can't have one-on-ones with them. It just does, none of the human models make sense. And so Crabtrap basically is a check that whatever your digital employee is doing is basically correct. Like, so if they're a sales, if they're an SDR, like, are they behaving like an SDR? Or are they doing something weird? And so these small local models, and I think this redaction model is an example of, we need more of these that can run quickly, cheaply, to basically monitor our digital employees. And so it's very exciting to see that they open source this. And also, as a side note, the OpenClaw setup that the Brex CEO is running it inspired me to update my Claw Chief. So there's a lot of things going on here with digital employees.
The other thing is, and I think it's very important to also mention, this is fine-tunable. So on specific domains like your company, they are saying out of the box it's not going to work, but it's very easily fine-tunable to your data. So if you have very specific things that you're afraid that your company is going to leak, then like with a few examples, this model becomes just great. So LDJ, let's talk to you about, and then we'll move on to different things.
Yeah, I was going to add to what Niston and Wolfram said. I feel like with how efficient it is, with how few active parameters it has, I feel like Wolfram's idea of having this as basically this private local check for people that really care about privacy and are using local models a lot, it is just kind of a no-brainer to have this do a pass over your text and conversation before you pass some information over to a larger closed source model.
Yeah. All right, I think it's time for us to move on, folks. We don't have any other news from OpenAI yet, but GPT 5.5 is on the way. We know. The reason we know is that they vague posting with base 64 examples. Should we show this example? I mean, at some point they're going to drop the model, and then we'll just talk about this. But there's a bunch of stuff that happened from OpenAI this week that we should definitely talk about. I think it's important for us to start with GPT Image v2. I think this is the biggest thing that, like, you know, caught at least Twitter by storm. You all probably have tons of examples. I have a few examples as well. Let's take a look. So OpenAI launches GPT Image version 2 with the biggest jump in Arena ELO score that we've ever seen. I'm going to pull this up. GPT Image v2 is OpenAI's thinking and reasoning image model. Why does it matter that it's thinking and reasoning? Because it can do things that no other image models before could do. It just absolutely incredible. The highlights there is it can create QR codes, which I don't know if it's a tool use thing. I don't know if it's Photoshop. Somebody here explain to me how the heck can a diffusion image model create QR codes that work. LDJ, go ahead.
I think it just generated it. Seriously.
Yeah, I think it's probably omnimodal, where it's like this unified model that's actually doing reasoning all in the same network, because they have it actually, and you can have it medium reasoning, high reasoning, and in LM Arena, actually, I'll link this. But I know we've been skeptical of LM Arena lately, but for images, I feel like it's still a bit reliable, and it's insane. So I actually went through the past 50, the top 50 rankings in LM Arena.
Yeah.
And there's not more than a 50-point gap between any of those 50 ranking neighbors. The exception here is GPT Image 2 that just released. Even on just medium reasoning mode, it's over 200 points above the last top place. It's insane.
It's absolutely insane. The jump is insane. So I went on a live stream when this got released and played around with it, and then I had the chance to to host Peter Gostev, who's doing evals at LM Arena, and obviously he has some access to this model. Before he had like over 500 examples to show us, where he ran this model against Nano Banana Pro and GPT Image 1.5, which was awful, just completely awful. You can see it here. I don't know if 1.5. 1.5 is number 4 here. I don't even think it's number 4. So this like throws a little bit of a about this ranking. But 1.5 was not great. Specifically, very, very bad at comparison. GPT Image 2 blew every other model out of proportion. It just like the character consistency is great. Everything is great. I definitely want to show you some examples, but this is the kind of the jump that we see from Nano Banana 2 and Nano Banana Pro, which is like incredible models. You can see this ELO rank jumps by almost 300 points. Now, what does this mean? This means that people are watching the two examples of models they asked to generate models, and they just prefer GPT Image 2 93% of the time. I think this is quite crazy.
Too.
Yeah, and they don't know about which model they use, so there's no like recency bias, etc. Let's show some examples, folks, while we talk about this. Have anybody played here? Ryan, I think you said this is like an incredible model.
Oh, it's so good. And it's good for real stuff, right? Not fancy, fun, play stuff. So I'm already integrating this into my marketing engine. So what I do every week is I interview somebody in the divorce space, which is what Entangle is. And then I basically have a pipeline every night that looks at that video and then creates a killer Instagram cover. And it's on brand. And it's just so good. So this is really, really going to change people's marketing workflows.
It's nearly perfect at text. I think I was able to see like one typo as well. And again, if you guys remember, every model that was released since Nano Banana Pro, we compared to Nano Banana Pro. We keep saying like nobody's close. This beats Nano Banana Pro on realism. This beats Nano Banana Pro on everything. Oh, I just got a ping from Peter Gostev, our friend who just hosted the thing that I want to show you. Let's see if he sent me a link. Yes, amazing. Shout out to Peter Gostev, folks, from LM Arena. He did this demo, and I'm going to show you. And I'm going to show you how deeply LM Arena goes into evals, okay? There is a lot of tests here, a lot. I can't even count. I think it's over 150 tests, if not more. It's gonna take a while for me to load all these images, but we're gonna see a lot of Peter Gustav here. Okay, but you can see that this is he has a bunch of prompts in here as well. He has very specific prompts. He has very specific prompts. There's like 30 things that the model needs to get right. The framing is slightly sloppy, not composed. A wet footprint trail crosses the tiles. There's like a lot of like very specific prompts. So this is an example of GPT Image. Let me zoom out here so hopefully we can see something. We're not loading the image on Zoom, probably because I'm loading 118 prompts, 517 images. The dude goes deep. So okay, you can see on the left, this is GPT Image 2. In GPT Image 1.5, you guys don't know Peter, but that's not how Peter looks like. So GPT Image, the previous one, was not as good at like character consistency. Grok is, I don't know why he decided to compare to Grok. Grok is consistently the worst out of like all of these comparisons. And then also, this is Nano Banana 2. And all right, we're gonna have to wait until the whole page loads before we zoom in for some reason. This is a vibe coded example, but he also provided reference inputs and his like selfies. GPT Image Pro just like absolutely knocks out of the park. This looks like an actual thing. So you can see a wet footprint. You can see like this cone. Let's move into some like more compositional examples. This is also a great image that like he showed. The prompt here is rescue helicopter. He provided reference images and said hyper realistic 1970s newspaper photo of Peter hanging half out of a rescue helicopter over a flooded town. Okay, he should be grimacing at the wind, wearing soaked yellow rescue headset. So this looks like a photo. This literally looks like a photo from a magazine. You guys can see there's a little bit of magazine. GPT Image even added a specific commentary here in the magazine. Helicopter crews were in action throughout the day, rescuing people trapped. This model just added this text. Like this text wasn't part of the prompt. I love it. And you can see the other ones. I don't know what's going on here with Grok, but this is not a person that's grimacing. It kind of does look like him a little bit. And then Nano Banana 2. Sorry. Nano Banana 2 is where's Nano Banana 2? Here's Nano Banana 2. This does not look like a 1917s like newspaper. So this model wins on a bunch of stuff. The reason why there's two GPT images here is because I think one of them is on high thinking model. So the thing we absolutely must mention here is that this model performs better the more thinking you give it. So if you go to ChatGPT interface, we can do so right now, and then you select the reasoning like level, this model performs significantly better the more thinking you give it. And on Pro, this model is just like absolutely mocks every other like image generation model that we've seen, with perfect text, with perfect fidelity of character consistency. The things that they said on the live stream is this can also generate multiple images with character consistency. So they literally generated like a manga anime comic, and from page to page it looked the same. LDJ, go ahead while I show some more images.
Yeah, so one of the theories here too is because it's so good at generating text and doing character consistency and things in context and everything, it might maybe even be based on GPT 5.5 that's coming out, and they just have it named as like the separate image specific thing. But for Nano Banana and Nano Banana Pro, Google and Gemini team has confirmed that those are actually based on Gemini Flash and Gemini Pro 3.1 respectively. And so those are basically essentially those models are fine tunes of those models specialized for image generation. I think it might be similar here.
Yeah. I'll go ahead, Michelle.
Yes, and to add to what LDJ was saying, most current diffusion models, they're actually still just a transformer. They're no longer like stable diffusion, having an RNN type of thing. Like the actual part that does the image generation, it still just looks like any other transformer. And you have to pair it with a full big language model to begin with. And this is why Flux 2 has to be so large, because they package Mistral 24B with it. So I'm really excited as to how they might have done it in this case, where I do also suspect that they figure out a way to dynamically pair their largest model with the entire diffusion DIT transformer side to get to this level, because this just looks insane. I'm wondering how they've even ran it. The other thing is, I think whatever deals OpenAI did with all like the newspapers and stuff, it just gave them much better data, because it is pretty hard to find audio, video, and especially images data sets. And yeah, and they've done a terrific job of labeling all of that properly now, to the point where all of those things just come together to make something that's like twice better than everything else.
It's so good, dude. Okay, so here's an example. This is Grok Imagine, right? And folks, Grok Imagine doesn't have versions for some reason. They just keep updating this, and every week Elon is like, hey, this is the best model. The really funny thing about Grok Imagine, okay, I'm gonna read out this prompt. This is a long prompt, but hyper-realistic backstage green room photograph of 3 minutes before an AI summit panel. Sam Altman, Demis Hassabis, Dario Amodei, Elon Musk, and Jensen Huang are all present and immediately recognizable. This room is crammed, blah, blah, blah. This is Grok Imagine. The only person that Grok Imagine can can depict is Elon Musk. I think it's really funny. Sam Altman doesn't look like Sam Altman. Dario Amodei is nowhere close. Like, it's a bald dude. Like, Grok does not know who Dario Amodei is. Jensen Huang is just like some rando Asian guy. Like, looks nothing like Jensen. No one here looks like no one besides Elon Musk. I think it's really funny that this is Grok Imagine. Just like absolutely hilarious. This is GPT 1.5. So, okay, you can see Elon's kind of Elon. Jensen is kind of Jensen with the leather coat. Sorry, Grok Imagine doesn't even know that Jensen has a leather coat. Get the fuck out of here, man! Come on. But like 1.5 has Jensen with a leather coat as well. You can kind of see Demis Hassabis with the glasses and kind of etc. Dario, no other model knows about Dario. This is almost like a fucking photograph of how this would look like. This is GPT Image 2. Everyone here is spot on, including Dario. Folks, I don't think that it's important, this detail that I'm about to share with you, but like I tried similar images on Nano Banana Pro. Models don't know what Dario Amodei looks like. I think this was before Claude like exploded. Models just like they don't have him in the training dataset. But here he's obviously been trained on. But also, all the compositions here, you can see that Jensen's tag says Jensen's one. Let's say Dario Amodei's tag says Dario. Elon Musk's tag is Elon Musk. You can kind of see the artifact here, right? A little bit if you zoom in. But also, that's kind of like what actual pictures would be like with like low resolution megapixels. All the tags are perfect. You can see that like the prompt said AI Summit. The lanyards have AI Summit on them, right? This model is just something else. It's just
the reflections, right, too, in the mirror.
The reflection from Elon. Yeah. Wait, is it though? Shouldn't be looking at the different side in reflection?
As he should be.
If he's looking left.
He found something. Yeah, we should be looking at his face.
But I think this is absolutely insane. Dario is writing some stuff on the whiteboard. I think this was part of the prompt as well. As you can see, Dario is writing stuff here. This is not Dario. Obviously like personalities is like absolutely crazy. I want to do more comparison with Nano Banana and then we'll skip. For some reason Nano Banana didn't load fully here.
Okay, so it is getting reflections wrong. If anyone wants to
I think that also Peter ran it on medium at some places and some on hard and thinking. I think on hard thinking it looks really good. Let's talk about infographics. This model is like really slaps on infographics. I think the Nano Banana Pro is still great. So I had a few examples, but basically I want to show you, let's show you this. This is the evolution of human language families. This is 1.5. I don't have 2 here. Not everything loaded. Let's find something with 2. Okay, this one. This is the NOA disaster cast frequency analysis. This is an infographic generated by GPT Image 2. Text is absolutely perfect. Framing is perfect. You know, the only way to show you a difference between this and something else is to show you the previous one. This is 1.5. It's kind of there, but it's not as dense information-wise, right? It's not as dense, and the text is okay on 1.5, but it's not as dense. 1.5 was 6 months ago, and this is Grok Imagine. It's not too bad. Grok Imagine.
Not bad, actually.
Yeah.
I guess they've had good data on this.
Yeah, they probably have good data on infographics.
The thing about this is that you need the data to be correct. If you are generating something like this from data, you absolutely care that that thing will represent the data. Probably it's a professional thing that you are generating. I suppose it is. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just saying that that thing has a very, very distinct characteristics for it to be successful. So, but yeah, all the text is so perfect, bro. I've seen it generate an HTML code of an SVG inside the image, and people took it and then rendered it, and it actually was that thing is crazy. It can write code in the image.
I want to show this.
It's
I want to
crazy.
show this because this is crazy. So Jan was referring to the I think it's this. Let me see if I can show this to you guys. I think this is what you're referring to. Somebody tested Simon Wilson's, friend of the pod, very famous kind of SVG Pelican experiment where you like ask the model to generate SVGs, and then the coding models just write the SVGs. This model generated a screenshot of a Mac with a VS Code ID, I think. It's a VS Code.
Let me just say,
wait, hold on.
This is not a screenshot, and this is not real code written. This is pixels.
I
mean, it took me a while to understand these are pixels. It generates the pixels.
The model generated a screenshot of a Mac. In that screenshot, there's a VS Code editor. Inside the VS Code editor, there's an SVG, and this SVG taken through a text OCR model that turns like text, into actual text, shows you almost a pelican riding a bike in SVG. This renders. So this model is basically like LDG. I think this supports what you're saying. This could be 5.5 with with the presumption of like this is an image model.
Wait,
this is
exactly, yeah.
Generated running code in the picture, like
not only running code, dude. It's more than running code. Running code is fine. This is a running SVG code that actually depicts something. It's like another layer on top of just running code. Like you can generate like an HTML page. Generating an SVG, there's a reason why this is a benchmark that Simon runs. Like it's hard to generate SVGs. These models don't see how it looks. So this model generated a screenshot of code that actually renders into an SVG. It kind of looks like a pelican. This is absolutely mind-blowing and insane. There's like multiple levels of geekery that's going on here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny about this too is that the Pelican test is a common test for testing abilities of models, and this is a Pelican that's better than some of the models just from like a couple of years ago.
This is a better Pelican, yes.
I think one more thing too. I heard Jan want to say something too, but one thing before we get off of GPT Image 2 is I think we should definitely show front-end UI that it's generated.
Yes, we'll show front-end UI after this super quick. Riley Goodside, one of the like more incredible people who test like very, very difficult things. He basically said, GPT Image 2, generate a game die, but instead of numbers, it has working QR codes for each of the Wikipedia articles of the actual numbers. So I'll say this again.
What the fuck?
I'm literally saying what the fuck as well. What the bleep? Because YouTube, we don't want YouTube to censor us. Every side of this cube has a QR code linking to a Wikipedia article about this number. So if you scan I have a QR code scanner here. I'm gonna actually do this right now. I have a QR code scanner in the thing. I'm gonna like do like this, and then see. Yes. This is all of them work. There's a functional QR codes to every number. The model needs to understand what the hell are you talking about. It's just mind-blowing. Menus are mind-blowing. This one from Clairvaux, like selfie turns into the whole, I don't even know what this is. Ryan, can you describe this? I know you're friends with Claire. Like, what are we seeing here? I think everybody's like.
All right, I've also got sisters, so I can tell you all about this. This is basically a color palette for your skin. So you take a picture of yourself and you say, "Show me your color palette." And apparently, all of us who are married should do this for Mother's Day, and then it will generate this amazing kind of style color palette. Or I think it's called your. It's a girl thing. It's cool.
Girl thing.
So
it's a girl thing.
Do this for your girls.
feels like we should bring at least one girl here on the panel as well to tell us about this. Shout out to Claire. Maybe Claire can come. But this is incredible from one picture. Folks, we can go on and on. Like me and Peter, we just sat for an hour and a half, and I invite you all. I'll give you a link, and we just like got excited. The last thing that we do before we move on, and LDJ, you're absolutely right. I feel like Claude saying this, but you're absolutely right. GPT Image 2 is incredible at UI interfaces. Pair it with the fact that Codex is not incredible at UI interfaces. What people are now doing is this thing. This is the new alpha. You ask GPT Image to generate a beautiful UI, and then you send it to Codex to implement. Instead of asking Codex to come up with stuff, this is now the creative brain, and then you just send it to Codex. Codex implement this, and this is beautiful. Here's an example. Yeah, I know you have comments, but LDJ sent this to us, so if you want to comment on this, feel free. This is a UI that GPT Image 2 created, and I think Codex coded. I'm pretty sure.
I'm just saying, you might be getting it in Codex in like 5 minutes or something.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it might be a reason.
I sent another one too, which this is kind of even deeper into the meta. This is image generated with a GPT image, then Cdance 2 animates some of the images, and Claude Design then creates the whole website.
Wow.
In actual code.
That looks super cool. I don't know how usable this website is, honestly. Like, Ryan, I don't know if you're gonna rebuild your own website with like animated people, but you know, for some stuff, this looks incredible. And the thing that we must highlight is also this looks nothing like any website that Claude or Opus, Claude Opus or the Codex will generate for you if you just ask. This has to come from like a visual part of the brain. I don't know if we're doing this metaphor with like the left part being the creative and the right part being the analytical, but let's say we do this metaphor for a second. Codex and like the coding agents and everything, those are the analytical part. They can write. There's some attempts into getting like excitement and creativity in there. We know it's not that great. It's better than Claude and Codex. Ryan, go ahead.
We have crossed a new threshold. So this feels very much like what we experienced in December, January, when everybody realized how good Opus 4.6 was. Now we're experiencing this with design. So with the entrance of Claude Design plus Image, 2 from OpenAI, we are now in a spot where you can really begin to get professional design out of AI. Now, what I do personally is I pay Brett from Design Joy to do an initial layout, right? So all of my web UI, all of my brand is done by a human, but now I can fully hand it off to AI, right? So as soon as you have your design system locked in.
Sorry, Brett. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just the truth. Like this is where we're at now. Now, I think any serious brand needs to pay a human to build out their brand initially and their UI, but pretty much after that, you can do this with AI. It's exciting.
So just for completeness of sakes, LDJ, you want to like send whatever you send in chat, like what's actually going on here, because I think it's confusing folks as well. What we're seeing here.
Oh, okay, yeah. So GPT Image generates a mock-up of a website, and then at least in the image you were showing above, at least. So if you go back up, or this video, I mean.
Yeah.
Actually, if you scroll a little bit more up, and they mention, so then they pass the image that GPT Image 2 created. They give that image to Codex, and they're like, hey, can you turn this image that was created into an actual working website? And then it goes from there and makes the website. And then in the other example I gave you, they do the same thing basically, except they also send those images into Cdance 2 to animate some of those images into videos, and then pass those images and videos into Claude Design and ask Claude Design to make that into a website.
Just absolutely mind-blowing.
I got scared for a second. I thought those were actual 3D animations, and I thought it scared me. We reached
they crossed into something crazier.
Yeah.
But why does it, Nissan, why does it matter? Like if they're just pixels and images, they don't they don't have to be 3D. Right.
Well, that would have been indicative of like a much smarter model that can build something of that quality.
Yeah,
we have
this one.
Yeah, we have Rick Delaschmidt sent us this. Thank you, Rick. This is again really good site. GPT Images to generate a photo of a cake decorated with SVG that when transcribed to a file renders another cake. So again, this is a photo of a cake that has SVG glazed on this with some glazing. And
Bro,
this SVG
it looks
like
food.
like this cake.
It looks like food, and it actually renders. Look at the cake itself. It looks good.
Hold on. It also costs $24.99. White cake with buttercream icing. Net weight 43 ounce. Is 43 ounce 2 pounds and 11 ounces? I'm not sure like if that's correct. 1.2 kilograms. That kind of tracks the size. So I'm also looking at like, you know, the extra stuff. It's insane. It is absolutely insane that we're here. That all of us started our like AI journey in a stable diffusion tool that could like barely generate stuff. We're not talking about like actual intelligence. Wolfram, let's comment and let's move on. We have a bunch of stuff to cover. There's no way.
Yeah, this was my highlight of the week, actually. So the first things I did, I still have some old prompts from the Dolly era from 2022. So I did the same render with this, and it didn't blow my mind. It was nicer, of course, but it wasn't that much. But I changed a bit in the prompt, and I suddenly got a complete image with text on it that interpreted the image. It was a character. From a role-playing game, so it had a character description. It got all the information. Even the animals with it got their own thing. So the thing is it's not just an image model. We have intelligence in the images that we didn't have before. Like Nano Banana was a big step up above what we had before. I think this is an even bigger step where you have, I don't know if they are using agentic stuff or if it's just a very smart omni-model. Whatever, it is like magic, and it is so mind-blowing to see what you can do now outside of just good-looking images. The intelligence that is baked into the images, that is, wow, I think we will be using this for a long time to come.
Oh, okay. Alex popped out, but
no, I'm
something
here.
I was
I'm
going
here.
to mention here is, I think a disclaimer worth mentioning is, since it does seem to be a reasoning model, it does have different reasoning settings. Like the most recent image that Alex had up, they mentioned that they specifically were using Pro, which I believe the heavy reasoning is only available to Pro users, and Plus users or below I think only have access to like a medium or high reasoning or lower. And so if people are trying to replicate some of these things and don't notice the same quality, then do keep in mind it is different limits of what you can get with different plans.
Yes. No.
So speaking of plans, while you find that, Alex, I mean, but aren't we all now in a place where it's like, at minimum, except for Niston, I know, like if you want to do serious work as a professional, you're gonna be paying $200 a month for Anthropic, and you're gonna be paying $200 a month to OpenAI. Like I feel like you have to do that now, and the only reason why is because they're so heavily subsidizing the tokens. Like, if I was to go off my OpenAI plan and I had R2 run off of the API, it would be $3,000 a month. But I can basically run R2 for $200 a month because I'm on the Pro plan. Is everybody else doing this or what?
Some people do API, and for some people, I think it's very important to run Opus only in their like Claude and Hermeses, for example. And hopefully today, we still don't have any news from OpenAI, by the way. We're still live waiting, but hopefully today, some of the comments that people have about, you know, agentic stuff that Opus is like much better at, they will address with this new model. But I agree with you, dude. Like everybody should be running these models. And the heavy subsidized thing is very scary, because when Anthropic yanked the heavy subsidization of Opus out of the OpenClaw ecosystem, you could kind of see like the thing go down. And then also all these companies are now copying all these features into Codex, into Claude Code, into Cowork, into design, into like a bunch of features. So, you know, there's a diffusion of where things are landing. Folks, I think it's enough.
By the way, they allowed it back, which is a complete mess.
Allowed what back, Niston? We have to
allowed the use of OpenClaw back in
let's mention this.
They reverted again. So
but wasn't that just for like the CLI or something? It's this
no,
weird
they just allowed it all again.
What?
I think it's only CLI.
There are mixed signals from different developers at Anthropic that are saying this.
But they have a Twitter account, everybody. Anthropic has a dev Twitter account, just so you know.
Yeah.
So you can use it in Hermes. Just use it in Hermes.
Folks, we're talking about over each other. What was allowed again is, as far as I saw, the CLI users. So if you go to OpenCloud documentation now, you can see that if you do want to run Anthropic via your like Max account, the CLI usage is fine. So what this means is that if you have Claude Code installed, log in, and you can do Claude-P and send like a prompt. You can say, hey, I'm OpenCloud the assistant, and Claude will not block you anymore. They had this like thing, and now that's fine. I don't believe that everything is fully back like it was, but I definitely should test, because I know that like mine fails if I don't have extra usage turned on. We must continue, because I do want to talk about two features of Codex. I'm not gonna bore you with the details. No matter what I tried, I can like share the screen with you. I need to do a full restart and I don't have time, but I think the two features of Codex are like the more important things. So let's see if I can share with you this. Anybody use Codex here? Ryan, I know you moved on to Devin, but who's like
I use Codex a little bit. I use it a little bit, but I'm mostly Devin now.
I've been using Codex.
What's your take on Codex, LDJ?
Well, since it's my main thing, then I could only really say I love it. But yeah, it's definitely, especially if you're doing one shot or a few shot, it's definitely worse at front end than Claude. But when you have a specific vision in mind, and I have been kind of getting more into that flow of actually enjoying that design process and kind of creating my own design and giving those instructions to an agent like Codex. It's actually quite good at following those instructions over a long time horizons, just working really hard for very long on implementing very specific specifications I give it. And yeah, haven't been really building things that crazy though with it, in terms of like mostly just kind of useful small CRUD applications that are useful for myself, various tools like training calculators.
So I think that the thing about Codex is specifically how much work is being put in Codex. Last week we told you that OpenAI famously decided to consolidate, cut some side projects out and consolidate things into one super app. And there's early signs that Codex is that super app that they're going to focus on. And a lot of the promotions within OpenAI, they're focused on Codex, and Codex is getting a lot of new features. So the feature that I really wanted to show you, I'm just going to show you videos of it because you have to see, is Codex computer use. Codex last week released a bunch of examples, a bunch of updates, and we got told you about this at the end of the stream. We got like very, very excited, but this was the end of the stream, so I wasn't able to like test it out fully. And since then, I have been able to test it out. Codex now has, at least on the Mac, computer use that beats anything else that I've seen. Not from the perspective of, hey, this is better at computer use by clicking buttons, identifying things. No, just from the UI of it. I want to see if Codex can use your Macs now. This is an example. Do you guys see this cursor, the little cursor that like jumps and clicks and moves and plays tic-tac-toe? The thing that I want to highlight, well, this is a quick demo video of all of the features, but I want to highlight this cursor. This little thing is running on a background thread somehow. This is not your Mac cursor that's getting taken over. I have no idea, and I think still the industry has no idea how they achieved this. Because OpenAI bought Software Apps Incorporated, and those folks worked at Apple before and worked on the different things like workflows. They're running something with accessibility. I think they're the only ones. Maybe Labs will catch up. The most important thing there is this happens while you are able to control your computer yourself. Most computer use, what happens, if you use Claude Code, for example, and say, hey, control my computer, which works, they will just use your mouse cursor and open windows in front of you, and like you aren't able to work. You're basically sitting like this, and then a Claude is using your computer. I ran this thing and asked it to go to TL Draw and just draw the like things in the UI, and it was able to do it in a background window that I didn't even see. It's so much more powerful. The once you go back to any other computer use, it's useless. It's computer useless. Codex computer use is so good that any other computer use is absolutely useless. Don't know if folks here tried it, but yeah, I absolutely recommend like a full try of this thing. Comments, folks? Anybody tried this already? Anybody play with this?
I think I know how they did it. Or if I have to guess. In older Linux, like before, for some reason, everyone switched to Wayland, you could have two cursors on Linux with the X11 or Xorg. And this is, I don't know, I just found this during university, people just trolling each other. And you could move cursors between laptops. And there is a port in Mac, which I do use, which is called Xquartz. And that lets you stream Linux applications to your Mac. And so I think there's not a whole lot of work there to get that other mouse going that way. This is just my guess here, because yeah, this has been a fun Linux trick for a while that people don't realize. So it's
I don't know if
black
that's
magic here.
I don't know if it's the same, but I definitely know that the little cursor that they have, they showed somebody like building that animation. So that's a layer on top that they're putting. This is the layer on top that they're putting, and they're like faking clicks. I don't know. I want to highlight the thing. I think I'm going to put up this repo. I noticed, and I don't know if you guys noticed this as well, that browser use, for example, sometimes need actual computer use. So if you know the Claude can control a browser, Playwright is a thing, and then also a native dev tools API, MCP is also like a great thing to control browsers. All of them are great at like clicking things within the browser, within the website, but then something like a download, for example, or a canvas interaction, these things cannot do. So the DevTools thing cannot like drag or do canvas like drawings, etc. So computer use paired with browser use, I think is the full exact picture. I've been working on a skill that I will publish later if you guys are interested about how to combine these things, how to do like a hybrid computer use / web use. And I think that like beats every other like web browser thing out of the water. LDJ, go ahead.
So nearly a full 2 years ago, OpenAI actually acquired a company called Multi, June 2024. And this company was precisely trying to do things like that. They're saying their goal is to make a computer, the experience of using a computer inherently multiplayer, and basically a multiplayer experience where you could have multiple cursors on a screen. And ever since OpenAI acquired that company in June of 2024, I've been waiting for them to release something like this, where you have like another cursor on your screen that ChatGPT controls for you. Now we finally have it. It's a little bit underwhelming because it was like a slow boil up to this point, but yeah, I'm glad it's here.
The video I'm showing right now is from VB, friend of the pod, on OpenAI's Codex team, that also says that not only can you have computer use, you can have multiple computer uses. The way they did this, because it's not your cursor and it's not your windows, you can have sub-agents with Codex perform actions within different windows. Again, sub-agents plus computer use, they will all go and click different things in there. I think that's just like, how insane is this? How absolutely insane this is. So he has a X window on the bottom left that like he's typing things. The confetti, did you guys see the confetti thing? So he opens Raycast in another one and like types confetti, and then he types some other stuff in notes, and all these sub-agents are doing things in parallel in all these windows.
I've been waiting for this from the computer operating system manufacturer. They could have built this already, like Apple or Microsoft. They are in AI, okay, Apple not so much, but if they could put this in their systems, like a multi-user system where the AI is another user working with you on its own desktop, on your own desktop, sharing between those, that is stuff the operating system could provide. And the technology is there now, just somebody has to be brave enough to actually build this thing. And it looks like the labs are doing it now. They're building everything.
Yeah, including the hardware, which OpenAI said over the next 6-12 months, they're going to be announcing their first hardware product.
This is after they're saying they're focusing on the no longer side quests. The other thing in Codex that you asked, Ryan, you had a comment? I see you getting excited about something.
I was just laughing about your comment about staying focused.
The stay focused. Yes. I'm very happy that the GPT images is not a side quest. I'm very happy that they're like doubling down on images, because like nothing that Anthropic does. Anthropic like famously focuses on like text generation, right? There's no image generation, no voice, nothing. I'm very happy that OpenAI is staying and leading the pack and like fighting the good fight as well, because like we all benefit from this. Nano Banana was, I don't remember another AI technology that dominated as long as Nano Banana did. just absolutely domination until yesterday or whatever, when images got released 2 days ago. The other thing in Codex that you guys absolutely must know about, I really wanted to show you all this, but the technology guys are not like with me today. It's called Chronicle. In Codex, this is a research preview that uses what's on your screen. Codex, behind the scenes, taking pictures of everything that you did every, I think, 10 seconds or so, and then it adds it to context. So if you ask, hey, what am I working on? What I was working on like an hour ago, Codex knows. Codex just knows. It fills in the missing context to be saying, and then it is incredible. It's hard to explain how much this is incredible, but folks who've used something like Rewind AI or like different things that, Rewind got bought out by Meta and shut down, so people can't use Rewind anymore. If all your screen is recorded all the time, it's an incredible addition to the context of your model, right? Famously, Rewind's tagline was like an AI system that knows everything you've seen, read, or heard. This doesn't transcribe everything you hear, but Codex now has screenshots of everything you did outside of Codex. It's kind of awesome. Like, honestly, it's kind of awesome. Here's an example of why it's awesome. I have Granola running on my meetings. So when I do meetings, I have Granola running behind the scenes. Granola prints out the output of the meeting automatically. Codex sees that. So technically, Codex now, without extra steps, has insight into every meeting that I had throughout the day. Every meeting, I can ask Codex, hey, when I met with Wolfram, what did we talk about? And it's just mind-blowing. Now, this does mean that you're enabling screenshots on everything that you see on your Mac and potentially sending this to OpenAI, right? The images are stored locally, but at the time of processing, obviously they're sent to the image. So that's not for everyone. I think in addition to this, there was news about Meta now adding software like this for all their AI engineers to measure their productivity. So that's the spy stuff. The conspiracy-minded folks may say, hey, this is like a thing too far, but I think for usability is great. Wolfram.
It wasn't to measure their productivity explicitly, not, but for training models on what they are doing, basically.
Oh, for Meta, you mean?
Not, yeah, that was what Meta was doing or is doing.
Yeah.
They need the training data.
Anybody used Chronicle yet? I really wish I could show you, though.
It sounds cool. Like I said, unfortunately, I rolled off Codex, so I would like to try it. But it sounds good. I wonder how much signal to noise there is, though. So
it was pretty good. I can say, I can test this and maybe show you. But like, I can definitely say that I asked it, hey, what was I working on an hour ago? I was able to figure it out. It was able to tell me like, hey, you're working on this and this and this. Nistan, what are your thoughts on an always-on computer screenshot taking Codex?
I mean, just look at the last few court cases that involved ChatGPT documents with CEOs saying, they had deleted everything and they had zero data retention policies, and it all showed up in the courts. So you have to think of it that the agreements do not mean anything, and there's always your data is always recorded. It doesn't matter, and it can come back to you or to your customers. So I would not use this unless it's running at home. I do want it, but I would not. I would not trust this thing.
LDJ?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the opposite stance here. I'm definitely gonna use it. Apple, all these companies, I mean, shouldn't give into it in this way. It's probably not the best argument, but they already have a ton of my data, and I'm not necessarily doing super compromising stuff here. I'm probably going to keep the improve the model for everyone thing off. Yeah, that doesn't guarantee that they're not going to store or train on my data, but I think the benefits and usefulness here are such that it's worth it. For things like contracts and reviewing legal work, I'm still going to just go to private models because they're good enough for that, and it's just worth it to do so.
I definitely think there's a path towards building something like this fully locally, right? We're talking about like Sonnet at home. The new Quen that we just covered is multimodal, so it can understand this. Wolfram?
I actually had something like that, a screen watching assistant that was I was using Florence for Microsoft, the the image recognition model for that, and it would turn it into text. But yeah, it's been over a year ago, so the technology just wasn't there now. But I think with the newer models that are smarter and faster, that would be something to run locally for sure, because you don't want to send all of your data. And in a company, you probably can't or are not allowed to do this. But if it's all local and it's just an index and it goes in a knowledge base that your AI assistant can refer to, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, definitely a screen watching assistant is one of the big unlocks.
Yep. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about, but we do have breaking news. I'm sorry to say this is not the breaking news you're still expecting. This is not yet GPT 5.5, but we do have breaking news. So we are a breaking news show. We're going to cover this. Let's look. AI breaking news coming at you only on ThursdAI. So it looks like this model didn't know that other big models from big companies are coming, so they scheduled the release for today, folks. Tencent, HY, you previously used to call Hunyuan, is now open sourcing HY3. HY3 preview is now open source. HY3 preview, 295 billion parameters MOE with only 21 billion active, a leading reasoning and agent model in its size with great cost efficiency. It's now live on Hugging Face. We're going to take a look at some of these benchmarks. The ones that actually don't know these benchmarks. Do you guys see this benchmark? Tsinghua Math PhD qualification. So this one model beats Kimi and the ZAI and comes close to like Gemini. This is an open source model. Frontier Science Olympiad. It gets 63 without tool use and I think 70 with tool use. Oh wait, actually no. This is HY2 and HY3. So this is the difference between H1 and 2, the previous version. They posted benchmarks that I'm not familiar with. CL Bench, AI, CLR.
Yeah, is there anything here?
Are you guys familiar with any of these? H1 backend? Oh, Terminal Bench.
Terminal, there we go.
At least one. Okay. This is quite a jump from the previous model for Terminal Bench. The previous one was at 23%. This was at 54%. Beating Kimi K2. Wolfram, how is Kimi performing on R? Is that a similar Terminal Bench average of 50-ish?
Which one do you want to know? The Kimi K2.5?
2.5, yeah.
2.5. Let me check the score. When we look at this, I had 48%. The highest score was 52%, and the lowest was 46%.
So around 48, like yeah. So this model beats Kimi K 2.5, not 2.6, not the one that just just released. And then Sweetbench Verified wouldn't really care about because we know it's benchmarked. So this is, I won't call this state of the art on anything so far. They're saying leading reasoning and agent model on its size. It's now free on Open Router, so you can try it for free. Though I will say, given that this is Tencent, they will train on your data like every free model. So only send your results to Chinese companies if you're okay with what you're sending. LDJ, you have a comment?
Yeah, or maybe have the OpenAI new privacy model scan all your conversations you're having with the Chinese model, and so if it does happen to have some PII accidentally, it instead sends the request to an American local model.
Yeah. How would you do this? You would do something like Crab Trap from Brex, which we're going to tell you in a minute as well, because then you have to go through a proxy. You can't just go directly. What else do we have? The license is a real headache. Somebody posted. Florian, Zeophone, a friend of the pod as well. I don't know if we had Florian on. He says it's a Hunyuan license, not allowed in the EU, UK, or South Korea. Sorry, Wolfram, you can't use this model commercially. I think you can still run it. No improving other models. No, if you have over 100 million monthly active users, you have to do a separate license. Anyway, so Tencent is kind of releasing open source, but not really. But also, we just mentioned this because of breaking news. I don't think this passes the threshold of the models that we would cover here, given that we covered, Kimi K 2.6 and the new Quen. All right, moving on. Still waiting for OpenAI. Still, it looks like maybe we're not going to get it in the middle of the show because there's no news still, as far as I can see. Folks are asking us in the comments, is there GPT 5.5 coming today? Pretty sure that yes. Pretty sure that OpenAI hinted at this. We can actually show you x.com/OpenAI.
It also
OpenAI
showed up in OpenRouter endpoints, but it's not. I don't think they work yet, but the name is there. So it very much looks like today, but not during our show.
Yeah,
Or maybe in like 10
see.
minutes. Just give it another 10 minutes.
No, 10 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna wait. So this does show up in OpenRouter. GPT 5.5 and 5.5 Pro are now spotted at OpenRouter. 5.5 Pro is a very interesting one because there were not rumors, but they've been testing this thing called Spud, and people used the Pro model and said they're absolutely like out of distribution crazy. We all know that Anthropic has Mythos that they deemed too dangerous to release. Since then, many people jumped on this and said, hey, is this really too dangerous to release, or is this a marketing trick? There was a podcast from Ashley Vance and some other folks, Ashley Vance and
Kylie Robinson.
Kylie Robinson, thank you. And they interviewed Sam Altman and Greg Brockman, and they asked them about Mythos and said, hey, this is a scare tactic marketing thing. We can also say we have models that are too dangerous to release and not release them for marketing purposes. So it's kind of like, we told you about this a couple of weeks ago, that's the consensus of Cloud Mythos. They just, maybe they don't have the GPUs to actually like run this. So this is their comment. But basically, OpenAI has been training a model called Spud that's essentially the same-ish area capability-wise. We don't know if 5.5 is Spud. We have no confirmation about this. But we know that OpenAI also has that level of capability. And we're hoping the 5.5, at least 5.5 Pro is it. All righty. I think we have a few more things to cover before. I do want to talk about CrabTrap. We mentioned this in the beginning. Ryan, I think you saw this. The CEO of Brex joins the litany of new CEOs who find newfound time to pair with Codex and actually build things. And he built CrabTrap. And he says, basically, OpenClaw is not great for enterprises. In fact, I will say like it's banned in CoreWeave, so none of us can use OpenClaw. And the reason why, and Jensen mentioned this on stage at GTC, is that it has access to the sensitive data within an enterprise, and it can communicate externally, and it can be prompt injected. So not great. But he's like, hey, we use OpenClaw at Brex internally. This is a great admission from the company. He says, we started deploying agents internally at Brex. We couldn't stop thinking about this question. Let me actually show you this. Agent works. Nobody wants to give them real credentials. Instead of waiting for a solution, we decided to try a novel approach, using LLMs to judge the network traffic of an AI agent. So they built CrabTrap, an open source proxy that intercepts every outbound request and blocks risky activity using LLMs. Like we told you before, the privacy filter from OpenAI, that's a great tool to kind of add to this arsenal. So this is an open source proxy that you like proxy all the network to. I think it supports OpenAI, but I'm not sure if it supports Anthropic. And then you just like basically proxy everything, and then it catches everything that your agent sends to, decrypts, the static rules, and then LLM is a judge. So this is kind of expensive, right? You're running another LLM to review all other LLMs, so you have to consider like context windows. But given that a leak of your private credentials for an enterprise can cost significantly more, this is maybe worth it. LDJ comments, Ryan, Carson comments about whether or not you're going to rub CrabTrap on your agents.
Yeah, I've heard it's especially effective if you have if you're using the judge as, let's say, Claude, and if the main model you're using is also Claude, but you tell the judge, hey, the model that you're monitoring is Grok or something like that. Apparently it's especially good at actually catching things better because it's like extra critical about it.
Oh, nice.
This is absolutely going to be a thing. Like, intelligence is on demand now. So what company would not want intelligence monitoring all their traffic to make sure that their employees are not doing bad things? Like, absolutely, this is going to happen. I think as well, secondly, every employee is going to have a digital employee or they will not get hired. I'll tell you, like, everybody listening, like, if you're not playing with OpenClaw or NanoClaw or Hermes or something, you're going to get smoked. Like, you have to have a digital twin next to you, working next to you and augmenting you. And it's not that hard, actually. and I'll say as well, like there's real business value. So R2 is my OpenClaw. Yes, he's a lot of work. Yes, I have VS Code SSH'd into my MacBook to fix him occasionally, but he does biz dev for me every day. So I have basically a skill called biz dev. It runs on a cron job. He goes out and finds 2 to 4 people for me to meet with every day. And he landed me a meeting, which I had today. And out of that calls my first real B2B partner. Like,
let's go.
We're talking a large business deal. So if you're not doing this stuff, like you need to be doing this stuff. And CrabTrap probably is going to be standard deployed just to, check up on all your digital employees. But what a time to be alive. It's great.
Yeah. I think, Nistan, maybe you remember, this was in one of the spaces, not live on ThursdAI. We talked about the private firewall that looks at everything that you look. And we talked about this back then in the context of, hey, if these models are going to be great at one-shotting grandmas with propaganda, then we'll have a personal firewall that like just judge everything they see and read and decide to send you, the responsible adult, a notification that says, hey, your grandma's being one-shotted by propaganda. We talked about this as a concept. CrabTrap is kind of like that, only for text for now. But I think that we're absolutely going to get there. There's going to be, in addition to, Ryan, what you're saying, there's going to be a personal digital employee clone of yourself, etc. I think like CrabTrap is like one example of, there's going to be an entity reviewing everything you're seeing or everything your network's going through and saying, hey, something bad is happening. Some analysis is happening. I think it's like, this is one step towards there. Maybe we should build it. Maybe we'll call this the ThursdAI firewall.
You can already build it. I use this. I run 8 Haiku instances for everything that Opus is doing, checking every single thing. It's free. You can already use this. They don't count Haiku usage in your Claude Max quota. Just
really?
Fire it up right now after the show. Go. Yeah, you can
Don't
already do
tell
this.
them. Don't tell them, Mister. Don't tell them.
Should we mention the fact that
Haiku
the haiku is free? But should we mention the Wolfram? You have a comment. I have a comment to follow up.
I just wanted to say that I want to change my pick of the week to the CrabTrap. I haven't looked at it in detail, but every week I'm doing a deep research. My agent is doing it, looking at how to secure agents, because the more I use my agents, the more access I give it, the more I'm concerned about this. So basically, some security solution running in the background and observing what is happening and being able to intervene. This is what I've been looking for all the time. I looked at all the guardrail implementation, but CrabTrap, I will definitely, this is my weekend project, I will implement this, and my agent is already on it. So definitely, I want this. And I think we all need this, something to make sure that our agents are not doing stuff they shouldn't.
Hey everyone, this is Pedro from Brex.
So this is the demo. We're not gonna listen to Pedro from Brex, but he's I think the CEO. There's 4 minutes of things, but basically, not only does it look at every request that your agent does, you can also, with natural language, define, hey, this does not look dangerous, or this is something that looks dangerous. So you can add those rules. I think it's very important to malleability. So CrabTrap somebody mentioned it's Okta for agents, and I love this, Okta for agents. So I'm definitely going to implement this for my agents as well, and go forward there.
So we didn't talk about Apple has a new CEO, which we probably should. But I am wondering though, like if we'll get
say the line, Ryan. It has to for the recording. You have to. I will take all of you for podcast training. I cannot use this in recording. Apple has a new CEO. Who is he? Why? Who's the old CEO? Ryan, give me something for the virality.
I don't even remember his name, guys.
John Turnus takes over.
Okay.
Tim Cook, after I think 21 years that Tim Cook took over Steve Jobs, and John Turnus led some of the hardware revolutions in Apple, including the move towards Apple Silicon, the holistic move. So not the actual chips, but the holistic move. John Turnus is the youngest out of the whole Apple kind of like leading pack, and we'll see if Apple changes direction on AI after like a new CEO, because
hopefully. So for instance, one thing that he could do is he could implement a local small model on this, right? That essentially is an air gap and basically says any text, any email that comes onto this thing, I want it to be judged by an LLM. And I think all of us would pay for that.
I would absolutely pay for that.
Yeah, everybody would pay for that. So I think it's a huge business idea. So let's go.
I will say we dog on Apple Intelligence a while, and like they promised to go, like they went with OpenAI. Now they're gonna go with Gemini, etc. Apple Intelligence. I still love the notification summary. Like I still use it all the time. It's not perfect, nothing is, but like we know LLMs, especially local LLMs, that runs on my iPhone. The notification summary runs on my iPhone. All of the concerns that we have about like private local AI, etc. Apple is like incredibly well positioned to do this. Their chips are amazing. The M2, M3, M4, etc. The A16, A17, A18, the neural cores, everything. Like everything is amazing for local models. They're absolutely poised to take over the local AI thing. MLX is incredible for local AI as well. Apple is like poised, just not doing anything. It's really, really upsetting. Come on, Apple. Come on. Sorry, this is my rant. Every time we like bring up Apple, and now hopefully with the new CEO, this will change. Though I don't know, but like hopefully, somebody mentioned like the first thing that Apple should do as the new CEO, that John Turner as the new CEO should do is buy Perplexity. Somebody mentioned this. I'm like, I don't know. But then we did talk about Cursor, which we probably should talk about more. Where SpaceX is going to pay Cursor $10 billion to do some stuff on their GPUs, potentially buying them for $60 billion. And so it does look like every big company now picking up some expertise that they don't have, or something. LDJ, comment, and then we'll move on to Cursor. I really want to talk to you guys about Cursor.
Yeah, I think with Apple Intelligence, I think they've had some actually good features and product roadmap of what they've shown at past events. Like they've shown you can have Siri be asked a question like, hey, when is my mom arriving? And it'll go through your messages, automatically see the airport information of what flight she's taking, when it lands, the fact that it's delayed, and bring you really quickly an answer. And that's something even actually now with things like Hermes Agent OpenClaw, you might be already able to do locally, but they just need to execute. They have these good ideas and roadmap plans, but they just need to execute faster and actually get focused on it.
Yeah, but like, you can do it locally with OpenClaw only if you run a big beefy image model. And Apple promised this us 2 years ago. It's literally 2 years ago. Apple promised us to do the thing, and yeah, most of us run OpenClaw assistants, but we send this the information to OpenAI, which I don't mind honestly. But where is Apple? Can I show you this thing super quick? It's just really, really funny.
Let's go into Cursor and everything.
Yeah, let's talk about Cursor. Before this, I want to show you this thing. This is from GPT Image 2. I'm pretty sure team is holding a potato and says, "Good morning." I'm really hoping this is going to happen at some point. But folks, it looks like OpenAI is not going to release GPT 5.5 during our live stream unless something big happens. Let's talk about Cursor and SpaceX. First of all, let's talk about SpaceX buying XAI that bought X, and then the GPUs and everything is just like jumbled into one big company and consolidated. They're about to send an IPO, the biggest IPO the world has ever seen. It's pretty clear. I think we're going to see 3 of those IPOs. I'm not sure which one is going to be which, but it looks like SpaceX is going to be the biggest IPO the world has ever seen. It's kind of like wild. There's like 4 companies in there. Obviously, SpaceX with this incredible success that they did. The first to land reusable rockets, the first to save astronauts from space, etc. Then SpaceX has a side business that's worth like 300 billion plus or so. It's like Starlink. Starlink is an incredible business. Not only does everybody who goes off somewhere has Starlink, it's not even a thought. Now all airlines are installing Starlink. Most airlines are installing Starlink. That's an incredible business, side business on its own. Then obviously there's XAI, which is, I don't know how many people use Grok. I don't know their success in enterprise. And everybody's dogging on Grok specifically because it can't code and it's really bad at it. And then there's also X in there, which we know and love X. And, we're live on X right now. Hey, folks. But now, apparently, there's a chance also that Cursor is going to join this bonanza before or after the IPO. It's unclear. Basically, the news item here is that Cursor and XAI both announced a potential $60 billion deal. The deal structure is very interesting here. I have it here. It's nice to read from the document. XAI gets an option to acquire Cursor for $60 billion or pay $10 billion for the collaboration alone. The collaboration is basically they're going to train a new model. Cursor is going to train a new model, and Cursor have been training Composer and Composer 2, and we saw that those are fine tunes of, was that Kimi K2.5, folks? I don't exactly remember, but they use the Chinese model underneath. I think it's Kimi K2.5. So Cursor is going to use all that information, and we saw how better they make Kimi, and Kimi is already a great model. Cursor is going to use all the info they have from the free users who said yes to share their coding information to train a mega coding model together with XAI on the XAI clusters. And they're going to spend around $10 billion in doing so, which is like an incredible expenditure. And this is not necessarily an M&A by that point. And if they succeed on Colossus, by the way, Colossus is 1 million H100s equivalent. So this is a huge amount of GPUs. XAI will run the same recipe as Grok. So simultaneous stuff is going to run, and then they're both going to benefit from this. Cursor is going to have a model. Grok is going to get better at coding. And apparently, if that succeeds, then Cursor is going to get acquired by $60 billion, which is absolutely insane. I doubt it's going to be cash. Like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be stock from SpaceX. You know, maybe somewhat overvalued, the hypey stock. But yeah, let's talk about this. Folks, do you think the Cursor is worth $60 billion?
Yes. Here's why.
Tell us. Hot take.
So listen, right now, this is a horse race between Codex and Claude Code, right? There's no one else, right?
Yeah.
I would say Devin is amazing, and I use Devin, and I think people who know use Devin, but they're a far distant third, I would say. And Elon is obviously smart enough to know that they need to be one of the core agentic development platforms, right? And they're not. I mean, they're not even in the conversation, right? So by acquiring Cursor, what he's doing is he's combining the compute of XAI with the team at Cursor to basically build a Claude Code / Codex competitor that is actually credible. And they'll run their own models, like, so they'll get completely off Claude, they'll get completely off GPT. And I think we want this to happen, y'all. Like, we do not want this to be a race between Anthropic and OpenAI. We need a third serious competitor. And just as a fanboy of Devin, like, I hope that they continue to win because their cloud environment's the best. So that's the way I think about it.
$60 billion to get basically, okay, so I kind of have to walk through this. We started with LLMs just being chatbots. That's where we started. No coding, etc. At some point around December, everybody caught up to what we've been talking here for a while about, is that coding agents are generalized agents. The way to get to generalized intelligence is via coding. That's why OpenClaw exploded. This is why Codex is now exploding. This is why OpenAI is now consolidating their efforts into Codex specifically, and they're doing a great job. Like, we're seeing, you know, I don't remember the last update to ChatGPT that we cared about here on the show. We talk about Codex updates every week, like 7 updates every week. They're also consolidating this in a mega super app that looks like it's going to be Codex. It's because I think it started with Cloud Code inside Anthropic and then kind of evolved from there, that coding agents are generalized agents. And now this is where everybody's focusing their attention, to bring the best coding agents that can use computer, etc. Grok and XAI is nowhere near there. Ryan, that's what you basically said. Like, nobody's using Grok for code. Like, no one.
No, of course not.
And so when Elon Musk announces like new updates for Grok, they are not necessarily interesting to those people who say, hey, we want a generalized agent. And so I think that, like, in the grand scheme of things, of how much money is going to be spent on AI and how much money Elon Musk already spent on Colossus and like the other, you know, huge data centers in terms of GPUs, they actually need to deploy those GPUs and not have them sit idle. The worst thing, I can tell you this, you know, and like, it's very clear, but like me and Wolfram, we work for like Wits and Biases as part of CoreWeave. The worst thing the companies can have is idle GPUs. This is like the worst capital expenditure thing. You cannot have idle GPUs, because then you're just burning money. You bought all those GPUs for incredible money, and then they're just sitting there. That's the worst thing. And so this is a way for them to catch up to the generalized agent part. And I'm hoping that they will. I'm with Ryan. Right? I hope that this like collab with Cursor will work out. I don't care about the acquisition necessarily. Like, I just hope that like there's going to be a new contender there. And we must say, Yama, you're putting on Glasses? Okay, cool. I'll end on this. We must say that Cursor has been an incredible company, still is an incredible company. They started as a VS Code clone. They have pivoted twice. I will tell you the Cursor 3 is fully rewritten from scratch. There's no VS Code under there. I talked with our friend from Cursor. I didn't release this podcast episode. Cursor is absolutely like rewritten. Yeah. Do we have Reagan news already, or yeah? What are you putting glasses on? Not yet.
I do want to say like one more time though, like every engineer, if they could, would have their engineering environment in the cloud. Like nobody wants a local development environment. It's a total pain in the ass.
Tell us why.
I mean, there's just too much config. Like I bet Niston's like rolling over in his grave here, but you know, there's just too much config. Like you want to spin up 100 cloud environments to have 100 agents doing stuff in parallel. You don't want to manage, you know, which port you're on, which, you know, Git clone you're on, or no, you don't want to do any of that. You just want to ship stuff. And so this is where I think, unfortunately, Cursor and Claude Code and Codex like have some serious historical baggage, because they've always been local first because they're traditional engineers. So cloud first is the future, and I would bet my life on it. Anybody who's
Cursor is doing an incredible job at it.
Well, they are, but they're trying to do both. This is the problem. It's like you need someone to be cloud native. Like this is why Ramp is crushing it with Inspect. So it's my rant for the day.
Your rant for the day. Niston, comments, please.
I think what SpaceX is doing is the most, everybody is sleeping on it, and their grand plan makes total sense, and everyone's calculations are off. So, okay, two things. I'm both critical of, I do think the Codex deal actually does make sense for $60 billion. And the reason why is because they have all their data. Like they have every enterprise's data that uses it. They have non-data sharing agreement with the providers of the API, but they have all the logs. And you need good data to train a good model. And buying out Cursor is a complete no-brainer for that. You just ended up with the best data set you possibly can. And 90 to 95% of the work at training a model is actually making the data set. So if you're paying for that expense, that's what you're paying for. So that's what will allow Elon to make better use of their GPUs. Also gives him an excuse to use Kimi models finally and run something better on the Colossus cluster, which is
You think they're going to fine tune on that cluster? You don't think they're going to like pre-train from scratch? I think absolutely they're going to do like a from scratch thing. I just think Codex just didn't have the GPUs to do like that size of model so far. And now, 1 million H100s? Jesus.
Yes, well, they're going to do everything. The majority is going to be used for inference, and Elon has mentioned it too. But here's the part where people are really sleeping on. You look at a current Starlink Mini 2 satellite, and do you want to guess how big the solar array is? It's SpaceX reports it at 116 square meters. You get 1.4 kilowatts of radiation in space for each one of those square meters. If you put it in sun synchronous orbit, you're only going to have like 20% efficiency because they use cheap panels. And they already produce over 20 to 30 kilowatts. So you can already run on 32 GPUs on that little bus that they have. Oh, and then people like to think about cooling and stuff. You can just look at the ISS, the entire cooling radiator micro ammonia panels. They emit out 600 watts per square meter. So you already have all of those problems solved on current tech. And that means that on each launch, they can just put how many they can, 64 satellites, each with 32 GPUs. And then in 5 years, those are going to become obsolete and just burn out. That is a complete no-brainer. Like, if they get that manufacturing down, yes, they are going to dominate. It's just math. And what they're bad at is
I want to comment on the GPUs and space thing. I definitely want to comment on the GPUs and space thing. As somebody who works in
It makes complete sense. I ran calculations manually because everyone was just vibe coding them, and to me, it only came like 1.5x to 2x more expensive. That's nuts.
Do you know how many people we have at CoreWeave that go and fix fucking GPUs? Nistan? Do you know how many people we have
just
that
burn
go
them.
into a data center like don't?
They'll just burn them in 5 years.
What do you mean?
They're already burning the atmosphere. Like just launch more. It's a lot
just launch
easier.
more.
Don't fix anything. Yeah.
Alrighty. LDJ, you have a comment on this? LDJ, muted?
Oh yeah, sorry, double muted.
Double
Yeah, I
muted.
think if you do the financial calculations, like I do agree on the data center side. Like I have looked a lot into that, and there is this maintenance and this like even in a given year there'll be a significant percentage of the GPUs you have to replace sometimes, but over time, like if you do follow kind of what Nistan is saying, I could see the finances kind of working out if you just kind of assume like you're going to basically burn let's say roughly half the money and effectively having to pay double or triple per GPU. It still might make sense to just, go crazy on launching these into orbit, especially if these regulations and lawmakers keep pushing on like trying to ban data centers and all these things on land. Then it does kind of make sense to just go up.
I think, okay, so this is SpaceX. We talked about Codex being worth it. We talked about deploying GPUs to space. We'll continue talking about this because I think SpaceX is it. Folks, we're approaching way more than 2 hours live on air. But I think that the thing that somebody posted, that Thibaut posted, that hang on, we're starting the Wi-Fi in the office. I think it's really funny. I'm pretty sure that like GPT 5.5 is going to go live today. I don't care. I'll sit here. I know that some other folks maybe just landed from Japan or retired. Some of folks had to go. Yam had to drop. And I will say we have more show to cover. So if you are with us, stay with us, folks. Co-hosts, if you have to drop, you feel free to come back when GPT 5.5 drops. I think I'm good to go for another like 30 at least. The thing that we didn't cover, there's two things that I want to show you. I want to show you hyperframes. And Ryan, I don't know if you saw hyperframes, but holy shit. The opener for this, I didn't mention this. I'll do it again. I don't care. The opener for the show was done by Claude, 100% of it. Let me run this again for you. It's 40 seconds. Just wait and look. I'm sorry, it's very loud. For the loudness, folks. All right, you get the idea. I'm so sorry about this being loud. This is nothing is perfect, but
woke us up. All right, let's go.
Yes. The way that this was created was 2 prompts. There's more to this, but I know for a fact the people, when we talked with a bunch of fans of the show over AI Engineer, people said, hey, you guys are not talking about the practical stuff enough. You talk about model releases, you like do evals, benchmarks, whatever. Here's a practical tip for you. If you want to generate beautiful videos with your AI, there's 2 tools for this. One of them is Remotion. There's a new tool called Hyperframes from HeyGen. So if you go to hyperframes.heygen.com, .ai, agent.ai. Let's see if I guess the URL. Almost. Hyperframes, maybe hyperframe, agent.ai. Let's see. No, I can't guess the URL, but I have it. Operating on a different browser. You guys don't care. Hyperframes. There we go. Okay. This is Hyperframe. Basically, you copy the skill. You're not seeing this. You're seeing this now. Basically, you copy the skill. npx skill add heygen.com hyperframes. And this loads a bunch of like other skills. These skills generate HTML based on whatever you want. And then they animate this HTML. And then you get videos like this. You get videos. Yeah. So I prompted this video with specifically our whole show for today. Just like the TLDR, the things that we prepare for the show. I just prompted that in Claude. I gave it the hyperframes skill. and it generated a video. After a few iterations, this video looked good enough to show you. The motion graphics in there, I would not be able to do them in like CapCut or whatever. There's no way. And I think that that's like mind blowing. The better these models are happening, the somebody says, "Yo, you need to use Claude to redo the music too." Yes. But this thing is incredible. Paired with Claude Design that we're going to talk about in a moment. I'm sorry, folks are saying it was too loud. Yes, I apologize, folks. I will fix this. Ryan, you gotta go. Cheers, Ryan. Thank you so much for hopping on. Ryan, gotta go to sleep. Paired with Claude Design, this video was generated with one shot. And they have motion stuff, and you can talk to your agent to like improve this. It's incredible. It's incredible, specifically for a show like ours. Here's where it gets like super, super cool. Paired with Claude Design. Claude Design is something we didn't talk about yet. Friday last week, they launched Claude Design. Anthropic launched Claude Design. I really want to show Claude Design. Let me see if I can like log in there. Yes, I'm logged in. You guys seen this Claude Design yet? I did like a whole live stream about this.
I have. Yep.
It's so dope, and I think everybody says.
I still didn't use it.
Okay, this is Claude Design. This is Claude Design. You go there by Claude.ai/design. This is a completely new interface, which I cannot use right now because I ran out of my usage. That has a beautiful, first of all, examples, so you can see what it can do. It has a beautiful interface to do multiple things. And the number one thing that you should do as you go into Claude Design, if you actually want to design something, is the design system. You can create a design system. You can give it a URL to your website or your brand guidelines that you already have, or Figma or anything. It'll create something like this that I will show you. This is our This is our ThursdAI design system. Are you guys seeing the right thing? Yes. So it's missing our brand fonts, but basically here's our like iterations on the baseline brand, and then you can ask it, "Hey, this looks good. This needs work." Then we have types of body copy and the display font. We use Inter 900. The website UI, you can see the whole website kind of here. Stream overlays. This is what like we're gonna show you. This is what the Claude used for some of the stuff. The weights and biases kind of sponsorship. You can see the colors, the brand colors. We have like the coral one and the purple one. Just everything. This is the brand kit. Now, after it took like 10 minutes to create this brand kit, you can see all the buttons that we have, all the call to actions that we have, right? Buttons. You can see all the buttons I have on the website. There's a few of them. You can see the bento card design. Basically everything that we already have. Why is this important? Is because when you create anything new, I'll show you an example of the new thing that I created. You can say, use this design system or use nothing at all. Nothing at all will start you from scratch. This design system will start you with this design system where everything you generate will be as part of this design system. So for example, I wanted to create a stream overlay deck. So I wanted to create like this thing that gives us kind of like, you know, the stream overlays like other shows have. You can see that the whole interface that it created is partly like inspired by our colors. And you can see it used the logo, it used our colors and everything. Now here's where the Claude Design gets absolutely interesting. Let me show you. Let's say this. I built this little interactive globe thingy from their examples, and I asked it to add kind of like a country selector that it rotates the globe and shows the country selection. Sometimes we talk about the country and we want this like animation. The interface tweaks that they've added for Claude Design to iterate on a design are absolutely just incredible. So I actually need to show you something else, like maybe this. So let's say in this example, you're going through this and you're saying, hey, do you guys notice that these two boxes, this box is longer than this box? Usually when you talk to a designer, you have to show him and tell them. When you talk with Claude, you have to like copy the element. There's multiple ways to leave a comment on here. So you can select this element and say, hey, the boxes are not equal size. And you can send this to Claude. But also you can do the drawing thing. So you can say this, and then you click here and say, this is wrong. So you can have notes that are annotated, and this will send the screenshot to Claude Design. And the coolest thing, by far the coolest thing, if you guys are still watching, here on the bottom, there's a talk button. You guys see this? Watch what happens when I click this. Hopefully this will work. I'm pointing at here, and this transcribes my voice, and this shows Claude in real time where I'm pointing at. So if I'm pointing at this area and saying, hey, Claude, in this area, the boxes are not the same, Claude will know what you're pointing at. This, I think, this feedback mechanism is one of the coolest things about Claude Design, because it keeps transcribing me. So stop, I don't need transcription. The fact that like Claude Design shows Claude itself what I'm pointing at, I think is like just like the best interface that I saw for editing things. I've played with this on a live stream for I think an hour and a half. My mind got blown like at least 3 times. They really innovated there with some incredible stuff, including feedback. Now again, it's still LLM, it still doesn't do things correctly, but just the feedback mechanism there is just incredible. I'll pause here and I want to see like host, if you have thoughts about Claude Design at all, if you've seen this at all or no.
I liked how Cursor implemented something like this before, because you could just like highlight the component and talk to it. But this looks really good because you can build your skills if you still use those.
Yeah. So I think like, the edit
really good.
The editing is like what triggered. So okay, when this released, Figma stock went down by like 5% because oh no, Anthropic killed Figma. I don't think that Anthropic killed Figma, but you can change like every parameters here. Like you can do this font is like 28 or something. Every time you change something, you'll send it to Claude, obviously. So it's not the best use of Anthropic's thing. The Mox account. This is only available for Anthropic Claude usage. Where's my usage thing? Usage. This is only available for did my usage reset? What? Claude reset usage. Whoa! Everything is on 0. Is that correct? Hey folks, we can show Claude Design. Oh, you're not seeing this. Sorry, my bad. Look at this.
Oh, they did reset everything. Everything. 0.
Everything is nice. Claude just reset all the things. So I can show you Claude Design. Let's go. Folks are saying, where's GPT 5.5? We're going to wait here until GPT 5.5. But let me show you Claude Design. I thought that because I ran out of things, I'm not going to be able to, but here we are. Okay. Claude Design. Let me go back to Claude Design. So I actually want to show you an example of, let's do a project with the ThursdAI branding. What do you guys...
You have to connect this to your GitHub, right? Or
you don't have to. You can upload a GitHub thing. I want to show you a slide deck. You guys want to see a slide deck? This is the reason why I jumped in on Claude Design. So if you guys remember, those of you who watched the show last week, I talked about the ZL Continuum, which is, oh no, I have, let me see, /ZL. Okay, I will go and show you the ZL Continuum. It's here, yeah, here. Read. Yeah, the Zeshner Popolo Continuum. I talked about this, the essay that I wrote last week that catches on. What I did with Claude is that I took this whole thing and I dumped it into Claude Design in a new slide deck segment, okay? And I asked it to create a slide deck for me. You guys want to see how this looks? So I took an essay and I dumped it into Claude Design, and it created these slides for me, and they look absolutely incredible. This, I'll show you. Like this is what I had in the thing. So you see the Z and the L and kind of the red and the blue, etc. And this is what it came up with in the slide deck. It's the same colors, the same kind of like thing. You can see the slides incorporated images that I had from that event, because this was part of the thing. Wolfram, you remember some of these pictures as well. There's Wolfram and me. It created a whole slideshow for me that looks incredibly on brand with the brand things that I like it built. This is not a ThursdAI branding, as you can see, completely different. Like the font is different, everything is different. And then I told this thing, hey, I actually need speaker notes. So I asked it to create speaker notes. So when I present this in, let's say, in this tab, they have kind of the speaker notes here. I asked it to create a speaker notes UI. So when you hit P, you should see this. This is it created the speaker notes UI for me. So you can see the current slide. It recreated like slides on the slide. And all of this in the same font as well. So you can like go through slides and speaker notes and just build this whole thing. Not fully from like one shot, but I was like absolutely amazed by the fact that like it got all of the things from the slides. And I hate doing slides. I love speaking publicly, but slides is yeah, folks. Anthropic did a reset of all the Max things. Yeah, so that people will go. They hit the reset button in Anthropic, so all the Max quotas have reset now. But I'm talking about Claude Design. I was blown away by the quality of. Oh, stop sharing. I was blown away by the quality of this, like of Claude Design's delivery. Just blown away. Look at this. It's beautiful. Format. We talked about format, fear of missing, agent time. Look at how beautifully it highlighted kind of the acronym. This is the stuff that Claude is really good at, and no other agents are still good at.
It'd be interesting to have the new GPT image create the slides for this and see how it compares.
Yeah, but like, I agree with you. This is 24 slides though. You have to kind of understand the whole concept. GPT Image is what creates 1 or 2 or 3. I think they can do 3, but I'm not entirely sure. These are great slides. Like I've spoken on stages before, like compared to like these are great slides paired with a thing. So this is Claude Design, and then you can say, I want to show you the feedback mechanism, like how it works. You can say, let's see here. Let's choose this one. Do you guys see this? So this text is not like centered. Yeah, you can see that this text is not like vertically centered, and I don't like it. So here's an example of the UI. Let's see if it works. You hit the speaking button. You say, "Hey, Claude." Hello, Claude. Yes, this text is not vertically centered. Neither is this text vertically centered. This text is also not vertically centered. Please make it vertically centered. And then we can send it. So you can see in the element that like actually Claude has. Oh, I'm still recording. Hold on. Yeah, actually Claude has these things. It has reference to what I clicked on. Some folks in comments don't like Anthropic, but yeah, okay. And then we'll see if it can fix it. Now let me address the actual feedback. The user comment.
I'm using it now too, and it says upload a .fig file. So this is probably what tanked the stock. Like just one line in there, drop .fig file here.
Yeah. Do you guys see the fix? It fixed. Ta-da! Vertically centered. This is why this is killing Figma. Not because of the Figma thing. When you were working with a designer, you have to tell the designer, it's like a whole thing. They have to understand. Claude just fixed the thing that I got bothered with. Just absolutely fixed it. Like pointing at things and talking is how things are happening. So I think that this is like absolutely incredible tool. You can download assets. It can build whole interfaces as well. So it's just absolutely incredible. Folks are saying they love the live demo. I went live on an hour and a half, like walking through Claude Design, and I got left with just incredible things that everything that we do for ThursdAI from now on is going to be like designed properly via this feature, if I can afford it. Everything, including kind of the motion stuff, including the headers and footers for Substack. I built a Substack asset pack for ThursdAI, and look, I just said, hey, that's what I said. I said, hey, for Substack, I need you to update everything, including the lines. The thing that it showed me before, I don't think I have this in here, is a questionnaire. So one of the coolest things about Claude Design is that it shows you, when you ask for something very complex and difficult, it generates a page with like, oh, what do you want? This, or something else. This or something else. It asks you a questionnaire about the stuff that you want, and then only then it starts doing this. It's kind of like plan mode. That was also like just absolutely incredible. I can keep talking about Claude Design, but folks, I'm getting a little bit winded. Where's GPT 5.5?
Yeah,
Come on.
Oh, Alex, you had some issues with the StreamYard, right? Maybe it makes sense to close this out, and then we start an after-hour stream with your StreamYard restarted and Chrome restarted and everything, and go from there.
I think so. I think we should close out this one. Although I don't know, dude, we have like 3,200 like views. Why not just stay here?
Sure, we can keep it up. Yeah. So.
I'm gonna try and use it to recreate because a lot of people, that random simulator, the Martian simulator we did when Opus 4.7 launched, people kept asking me, what was your design prompt? What was your design prompt? I'm like, there wasn't one. It just made it like that. So I'm trying now to see if it recreated it. Actually, so like,
you want to show something this or you want to just?
I can show me just using it right now. So
Claude Design specifically, yeah. Folks, we're waiting for GPT 5.5 just as you are. We're pretty sure. We're pretty sure it's going to drop at some point.
Fix your damn Wi-Fi, OpenAI. Fix it.
Yeah, let's see. Is this? Yeah, so this should be sharing. Again, I just put a Martian UI thing, and I'm just gonna say.
This is the UI that I wanted to show. Listen, can you show this? This is a page that Claude Design shows when you set up the design system. Can you walk through this?
Yeah, so I'm doing it very quickly now. It's my first time using it too. So yeah, so set up your design system, Ghost in the Shell, Amber UI for full health digital twin app. I want to adapt the Martian Railgun launcher UI that we did on the stream. And I added a folder. I had to upload a folder. I couldn't just upload an index.html. So I just put the index.html in a folder. And I uploaded that in. And I also put, and it says any other notes. I wanted cool Ghost in the Shell Amber UI type thing with a Dieter-Rams mode for light mode. And like in the image I showed you, Manila corporate German 1990s style. So both the future and past. All right, that should be hard enough prompt for any model. So I don't know. Let's just see. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna take it 5 minutes. So
I would say, listen, if this runs for longer and usually like the design system is not as usual creating, just create something in addition to this. Now that the resets got reset, folks, I want to show off everything. So I'll go on a restart and come back in a minute, okay?
Okay, so we're going through it. It's reading the index.html. There's not a lot of files here, so that's why I think it will be fast. And okay, so it's 2,500 lines, so it's not reading the full file. That's something to keep in mind there. And so now it's gonna write the entire. Oh yeah, so I also gave it this. So this was this is what I wanted the Dieter Rams mode to be like. So again, let's just see, because then I asked it to do both light mode and dark mode. So this is gonna be pretty interesting. There's not much else here that we can even show. We're only seeing stuff like, I don't know, let's just check. Okay, so it is Opus 4.7 in the settings. Do we have, okay, so there's comments. Okay, it made a README file. So let's just, oh, it's writing the README now. Okay, so there's a ghost theme. And yes, guys, we're gonna read through the code. There's the colors, and then there's the light mode. Okay, Manila corporate brown 1990s, warm paper ink black pen. Oh, this is already sounding amazing.
I think people underrate really things like font choice, and like it's one of those things where people that aren't, especially people that aren't engineers, but people that aren't really into design and things like that, they might look at a website and feel like it's like just a bad website, but they can't put their finger on why. And a lot of times it is just because of things like the fonts, the combination of fonts, the clashing of colors with it.
Yeah. I noticed people always ask me what my terminal font is, and it's Anonymize Nerd Font Pro Mono. And those little things actually make a pretty big difference, especially if you're going to spend quite some time on that app. Okay, so it looks like it kind of got it. And so it has to recreate something like this for the light theme, but we'll see how it goes. It wrote the README, so we're gonna go. Okay, so I called it IGIS, or however you spell that. Think medical grade telemetry for the human body, wearables, labs. We only have like 2 files here, root files. Make sure you read the full index.html. Actually, the styling is all in the index.html. Okay, so I guess it's going to build something now. Okay. All right, so the tone, terminal, clinical, not warm, first person, never. Product does not speak as Y. Interesting. So these are not just for the design stuff. It's also for the copy, like the material that you put in it.
Mm-hmm.
It has vocabulary preferences, because I asked 1990s corporate German manila envelope style. So
it's a quick question.
Yeah.
Is this in the desktop app or in the browser?
This is all in the browser. Right now,
so is Claude Design available at all in the app? Has anybody tried? No. Okay.
It's only on. It's the experimental thing. It's not available in the app. In the app, all you have is Claude Code, Claude Cowork, and Claude itself.
Oh, sorry. I should specify. I mean, in the mobile app.
Oh, I don't know. You can kind of you can. I can check now. I'll see. I don't know if it updated. I don't see it in the mobile. Yeah, it's writing optional CRT scan lines.
It's up. Folks, it's here.
Up?
I think so. That's what we have, folks. We stayed on until OpenAI launched the thing. All right, somebody send me a link.
I have a link here.
Let's go.
Right,
but it's kind of a weird title. But yeah, it says 5.5.
Yes. Okay. Let's go. Breaking news. AI breaking news coming at you only on ThursdAI. Alrighty, folks, the moment we've been waiting for.
Well, maybe not quite.
Maybe yes, maybe not. Yeah. But GPT 5.5 is either dropping or not dropping, but the blog post is up. So definitely, we've been here live waiting. What you're seeing right now is not it. Okay, let's talk about.
I am really liking what I'm looking at.
Mister, hold on.
Yeah. So I mean, I could start reading now if you want.
Yeah, please. But like, I'll just say the side chat is going crazy. People are like, hey, inhale, breathe. The thing that we're watching, the blog post, I'm hoping that this is the one that folks talk to us about. Yes, LDJ, go ahead.
So it's definitely not a main blog post. I did put it in the StreamYard chat here. I linked it there. But
yeah, I'm gonna show.
Yeah, it's titled GPT 5.5 Bio Bug Bounty, Testing Universal Jailbreaks for Bio Risks in GPT 5.5. It says, as part of our ongoing efforts to strengthen our safeguards for advanced AI capabilities in biology, we're introducing a bio bug bounty for GPT 5.5 and accepting applications. We're inviting researchers with experience in AI red teaming, security, or biosecurity to try to find a universal jailbreak that can defeat our 5-question biosafety challenge.
Wait, LDJ, let's start this again because the actual blog post, I think, is now live.
Oh, the actual. Oh, yes. There we go. Okay.
All
there we go.
All right, let's
Should we start this again? Folks, we have breaking news. AI breaking news coming at you only on ThursdAI. All right, now finally we have breaking news, folks. OpenAI's newest model, GPT 5.5, just launched. They call it a new class of intelligence for real work. We're not going to take a look at the video because we want to go directly into the evals and show you that on Terminal Bench, GPT 5.5 gets 82%, jumping from 75 at GPT 5.4, beating every other model that they have here. GPT 5.5 Pro is also launched, but they didn't test it for some reason on GPT on Terminal Bench. We have Expert SWE internal benchmark jumping to 73 from 68. OS World Verified is a little bit of a bump. GDP Val that we specifically love here. This is state of the art model now. Beats Claude Opus 4.7, beats Gemini 3.1. We have Yam in the car joining us to the breaking news. Browser Comp is almost state of the art, and let's go. Can we test this out? But yeah, what else? Frontier Math is incredible, 35%. Model capabilities. OpenAI is building the global infrastructure. Over the past year, we've seen AI dramatically accelerate software engineering. With 5.5 in Codex and ChatGPT, the same transformation is beginning to extend into scientific research and broader work people do on computers. Across these domains, GPT 5.5 is not just more intelligent. It is more efficient in how it works through problems, often reaching higher quality outputs with fewer tokens and fewer retries. This is a trend that we showed you before. Not only our models capabilities are blowing up, also they're doing it with lower tokens. So let's take a look here. Artificial analysis index. I love the fact that people, the big labs, show artificial analysis here. They show the GPT 5.5, which is the kind of the purple here, gets significantly less output tokens on the artificial analysis intelligence index. Yeah, this is great. It's absolutely great. We have folks in the comments freaking out as well. Somebody says it will work for 30, 60, 90 minutes or more. That's
people are already using it? Oh, wait. What?
So they're saying this is our strongest agentic coding models to date. On Terminal Bench 2, which tests complex command line workflows, it gets state-of-the-art accuracy of 82.7%. This is now just state-of-the-art on Terminal Bench 2. LDJ, go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't have access to it in ChatGPT or Codex yet. I've been refreshing, but overall on the sheet of different benchmarks that they showed earlier in the blog post, I'm not seeing a single benchmark where Opus 4.7 is beating 5.5, which I think is pretty impressive. And yeah, it's maybe partially.
I have access. Let's go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There we go. Extra high and high. Let's say speed is fast. Okay, I'm going to use this as speed. Nistan, let's do the Mars thing. Mars.
By the way, we had Opus 4.7 last week at Terminal Bench 2.0 at 69.4%. So that is a huge jump here.
I'm going to do GPT 5.5 on fast mode with high reasoning. Let's take a look. Oh, folks are saying that they had it run for 8 hours. What's up, Peter Gostev from Arena, who gets access to earlier models? All right, we're gonna send this Mars instrumentation. Let's keep reading here. For Terminal Bench 2, not only does this model beats the scores, as you guys can see, it uses significantly less tokens, almost twice less tokens. That's incredible. So let's look at this one. So this is medium. This is low reasoning effort. Okay. The low reasoning effort gets a little bit lower score, but uses one half of the tokens. And then for medium reasoning effort, you can see that GPT 5.5 gets a score of 75% on Terminal Bench. The medium reasoning effort for 5.4 takes 63. So almost 10% difference on medium thinking with significantly less tokens, 7,000 versus 9,000. That's very important as well, right? Wolfram, we talked about how important is how many tokens you get as well. How many tokens you use.
Yeah, and
I'm so excited. I can speak.
The price of the intelligence you are getting, that is super important. And we found out also that if a model is thinking longer, it can actually be detrimental on the agentic benchmarks. So finding a good way, that is also probably why the score is higher now, because it decides it doesn't have to think so much, but act and then correct instead of overthinking.
let's build a simple website. Build me a simple.
Okay, you guys do that, but I am kind of blown away by this design thing.
Nistan, not now, Nistan. You should have joined me a week ago. Now the big news is GPT 5.5. You're killing me. Yes, Claude Design is amazing. Yes, I agree. Nistan, I have to edit
all
this
I
out.
wanted is okay.
Yes, it's incredible. But please, what else do we have here? So Expert SWE as well. You can see that it actually uses less tokens. They're showing an example here of the space mission app with like 3D things. It shows the price comparison between GPT 5.5. I'm going to build a website that shows price comparison. I'm hoping this is going to go and actually look at the prices. GPT 5.5, Opus 4.7. Where's Gemini, by the way? Gemini 3.1. Gemini is the last one, right? 3.1. In 3D somehow with 3GS. So I asked it to go and look up the scores. I think the new meta that we're now like waiting for also is generating things with image. So let's see if it builds the Mars thing, Nistan. It still thinks a lot. So
I have an answer, by the way, for the pricing.
Oh, okay. Tell us. I just noticed that
so
I ran it with 5.4. I wanted with 5.5. Yeah, go ahead about pricing.
Sure. So it looks like it is for regular GPT 5.5, it's priced at $5 per 1 million input tokens and $30 per 1 million output tokens. I think 5.4 was $25 per 1 million output tokens. So yeah, that's like a little bit more expensive, but not insanely much. And then for 5.5 Pro, it's the usual cost of the Pro models. It seems like $30 per 1 million input tokens, $180 per 1 million output tokens. So still a lot, but the other Pro models are really a lot like that too.
Oh, look at this. We have friends from the Twitter like showing up on the actual page saying, Dan Schipper, founder of Every, described 5.5 as the first coding model I've used that has serious conceptual clarity. And Pietro Schirano, a friend from Magic Pass, says a similar step change when 5.5 merged the branch with hundreds of front-end and refactor changes that has also changed substantially, resolving the work in one shot about 20 minutes. It generally feels like I'm working with a higher intelligence and there's almost a sense of respect. I gotta wonder if they fixed like OpenClaw or something. Did they mention OpenClaw here? OpenClaw. Nope, they didn't mention OpenClaw. Because we know that like once Anthropic yanked the OpenClaw thing, then everybody was waiting for OpenAI to catch up to Codex. Let's look at GDP Val. GDP Val is attests agentic abilities to produce well-specified knowledge work across 44 occupations. GPT 5.5 scored 84%. 84%. Where's my 84? Here. And the industry expert baseline is here. So like all these models beat it. Just a little bit above GPT 5.4, not a huge amount. But somebody says it's a good model, sir. Yes, okay. All models now are good models. OS World Verify. Oh, this is a nicer model for tool use as well. Oh, looks like we're about to see the Mars generator, Nistan, and we can compare it to the previous one that we ran with Opus 4.7.
I expect it to take some time back and forth, but we're gonna see.
The desktop view is alive. The default target was 1 kilometer under the exact rail length after rounding, so it labeled the minimum orbit, blah blah blah. It really takes, it really thinks about the math there, because we asked it to do all of the math.
It's doing mobile page view too?
I think so.
Interesting.
That's the first time we've seen this, right? That we have two examples that the model like compares.
Wait, show the picture that it took. It took a picture, right? A bigger one. Okay. All right.
Oh, it's gonna use my browser now. It asked me permission to use the browser because Codex is like that. I'll give it a permission to use my browser, and we'll see what's going on. So folks who are just tuning in, we have a bunch of folks here. We're testing GPT 5.5 from OpenAI that just dropped. And we're testing it in multiple ways. But first of all, we're running this on a Mars Rails calculator that we from Nistan that we usually tested with things on the show. It has a verify. The thing we're noticing, it has a verify mobile PNG. Now it deletes it, but like this model decided to test its own, UI, both on desktop browser and mobile browser. And I've never seen this before. And it's done. Let's take a look. And it's running now. Let's take a look. Now I want to open this in the actual browser for a second. Nistan, I will let you verify the numbers if you want to, but there we go. So we have Mars.
It should get the numbers right, even small.
Yeah.
Ones.
We have the target, minimal orbit, eastward, no rotation assist, escape outward, escape, no rotation assist, and then custom rail. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just do minimum orbit eastward.
Okay,
yeah.
eastward.
Yes.
And then we have
looks good.
We have acceleration time, etc. Exit angle. We can. What the hell was this? Oh, this is a different one. This is okay. And then we hit launch, and let's see. And we can see the little model goes.
It launched it. Okay, interesting.
Launch, but I don't see.
Yeah, it made it kind of maybe do the exit angle. I don't know, like 15 degrees or something.
Okay, let's do it like this.
Or yeah, just 3. That's fine. Okay.
It's not the best one that we've seen.
Yeah, it's not. It's
everything else we showed has like multiple views, angles. I did custom. Let me refresh this guy and let's start again.
Sometimes you have to tell it add orbit controls and other cinematics stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not showing it in orbit either.
No, but it did do Mars, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Can you rotate it? Can you drag and rotate?
No, it's locked in place, so we didn't get any of the fancy stuff that we got from like Opus or even the previous GPT. Meanwhile, though, I've been running this codex. So on the Mars thing, we're saying it wasn't the best one, but maybe we need to specify it a little bit better.
Yeah, I might just need better prompting.
Meanwhile, I asked this prompt: build me a beautiful website that shows the price comparison between GPT 5.5, Opus 4.7, and Gemini 3.1 in 3D somehow with 3GS. And then it's still running, but it built me this. Do you guys want to see? Frontier model, price field 450 to 1150. There's kind of some text overlapping some other text, but it is a price comparison with blended input and output, and you can see the 3D kind of like rotate, and you can see the prices. So GPT 5.5, $5 per input, $30 per output. It added the artificial analysis index, so this model is at 60. Opus 4.7 is 57.3, and Gemini is 57.2. It added terminal bench evals. I didn't ask for evals. It added SweBench verified, SweBench Pro evals, and added GDP val evals as well. Not only that, Codex asked the model to confirm. So you guys can see the little Codex window here. If you press, it took a screenshot and confirmed that it works. And the mobile pass exposed the usual absolute layout trap. The cards were starting to high. So this is now the second time that it looks and verifies its own work on mobile. This is the first model that I've seen that does this without prompting at all, which is very, very cool. What else do we have? Folks are saying artificial analysis posted their benchmark. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at artificial analysis. Okay, we have the official score here and also artificial analysis. Let's take a look. Let me just open this in a new tab.
I have some scores to compare with Mythos, by the way, when you're ready.
Oh, with Mythos, let's go. Let me find artificial analysis. Here is their official thing. Independent analysis of 5.5. All right, from artificial analysis, GPT 5.5 takes OpenAI back to the clear number one in AI. OpenAI's new model tops the artificial analysis intelligence by 3 points. It's not that much. Breaking a 3-way tie with Anthropic and Google. OpenAI gave us pre-release access to test all 5 reasoning effort levels. Extra high, high, medium, low, and non-reasoning. OpenAI topping the GPT terminal bench hard, GDP val, and our newly hosted Apex Agents artificial analysis eval. The model trays only other OpenAI models in CritPT and comes second to Gemini 3.1 Pro preview on 3 additional evaluations. 20% more expensive to run our intelligence index. Per token pricing was doubled from GPT 5.4, double the pricing to $5 and like $30 per 1 million output tokens. However, a 40% token reduction largely absorbs the hike. So this model is like more expensive, but 40% token use reduction on artificial analysis. resulting in a net 20% cost to run our intelligence index. Effort, a clear ladder for balancing intelligence and cost. GPT 5.5 scores the same as Cloud Opus on our intelligence index at 1/4 of the cost. Wow. All right, cool. What else? Number 1 is GDP Val, and trailing the frontier on hallucination. Our private AI Omniscience benchmark rewards factual knowledge. GPT 5.5 Extra High has the highest accuracy at 57%, meaning the model can recall facts in Omniscience corpus more effectively than any other model. However, it has a hallucination rate of 86% versus Opus at 36%. This makes it more likely to answer a question where it does not know the answer. That's not great, honestly. But great model, sir. Great model, sir. All right, the pricing thing has finished. Let's see if it changed anything. No, it's still kind of like wonky, but I kind of like the price comparison thing. I didn't ask it for too much. Besides the fact that it's a little bit there's text overlapping here, it's pretty cool. Some folks are saying can't wait to test the 5.5 Pro. Let's see if 5.5 Pro is up.
I tried to check my ChatGPT, but I don't see it on mine. But maybe you have it on yours.
Not even
You're still sharing, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you. Am I still sharing even now?
Yes.
Lovely. Even if I moved it away, I'm still.
Well, I don't see your browser anymore, but I see.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So let me log in and see if I have the Pro. I don't think Codex has access to Pro. I think it's just online, right? So we'll see. All right, logging into ChatGPT. Let me confirm that I do not have.
Here, while you do that, I could say some Mythos versus 5.5 scores.
Yes, please.
So it looks like Humanities Last Exam and GPQA, and most of the benchmarks, Mythos is significantly beating it. But it is interesting in CyberGym, which is, it seems like really the only popular cybersecurity benchmark that Anthropic tested Mythos in.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, Mythos preview got 83.1%. Opus 4.7, which just released, gets 73.1%. And GPT 5.5 gets, sorry, I just had it pulled up here. Okay. GPT 5.5 gets 81.8%.
Could you send me something so we have it visual as well?
Sure. So basically, GPT 5.5 only scores about 1.5% lower than Mythos here.
Than Mythos.
While Opus 4.7 is a full 10% behind.
Oh, wow. So this is a cybersecurity model as well. Is this SPUD? Do we know if it's SPUD?
I don't think it's confirmed. I think it's kind of been implied that it might be, or at least like an early version of SPUD or something like that.
Yeah. I think that folks are posted that, folks from OpenAI, I think, posted something about like SPUD is coming. All right, what else do we want to let's see what Sam says. Sam Altman, we believe in iterative deployment. Although 5.5 is already a smart model, we expect rapid improvements. Iterative deployment is a big part of our safety strategy. We believe the world is best equipped to win at the team sport of AI resilience this way, okay? We believe in democratization. We want people to be able to use lots of AI. We aim to have the most efficient models, the most efficient inference stack, and the most compute. We want our users to have access to the best technology. We have been tracking cybersecurity's preparedness category for a long time and have built mitigations we believe in that enable us to make capable models broadly available. He's taking direct shots at Anthropic with Mythos and the too dangerous to release thing.
Oh yeah. That's shots fired. Absolutely.
Shots fired. We love you and we want you to win, Sam Altman says. We want to be a platform for every company, scientist, entrepreneur in person. And in parentheses, my whole career has largely been about magic of startups, and I think we're about to see that magic at hyper scale. This is great. This is great. So shout out to Sam Altman. Let's see what else OpenAI posted about OpenAI. You guys know what? I gotta wonder if GPT Image now is significantly better because GPT 5.5 is significantly better. Or like we said, the GPT 5.5 was already GPT Image. We just didn't know about it yet.
Oh yes. Again, for these types of models, you have to include a full language model in it. So yes, that will help.
So we can go and take a look Let me log into fal.ai. We'll try GPT Image. Meanwhile, folks, let us know if you want us to test anything specific. Because, oh yeah, Peter, please do. Dude, you want to jump on? Let me invite Peter Gostev because he's been testing this model for a bit. Let's invite Peter.
The new GPT image is also an open router, and there it's called GPT 5.4 Image 2. So basically, the language model plus the image model.
Wait, could you say this again, Wolfram?
Yeah, on Open Router, the model is called OpenAI /GPT 5.4 Image 2. So basically, you have the name of the model that it is the image.
Oh, GPT 5.4 Image 2 on the API, you mean?
Yeah, on the API. So basically, if you expect it to be 5.5, then it will be updated there as well. So far, it has been 5.4 with Image 2 as a layer.
Yep. We'll see if Peter Gostev from Arena comes on. I texted him. Let's see. But Peter, if you're listening, I sent you a DM on X with the link. Please join us on stage. Meanwhile, let's see what OpenAI says here. So we kind of looked at those evals, but I think what is standing out to us? They have GPT 5.5 Pro, and very interestingly, they compare the four models here. They compare the thinking and the Pro to both 5.4. GPT 5.5 thinking looks like beats nearly all the models on Tulathalon. I don't know what Tulathalon is. I don't know. Wolfram, did you try and switch to 5.5 in Hermes?
I don't have it in Germany yet. It is being rolled out, so I asked, at least I did some research. It should come, but it's not there yet. Otherwise, I would definitely switch. And I just subscribed to OpenAI again with a Pro account.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So when 5.3 or something in December, I unsubscribed, and now I will test and see. But I have high hopes and high expectations.
Meanwhile, while we wait for Peter to come on, folks, I want to show you the thing that I wanted to show you this whole time. I want to show you computer use. Okay, so I'm gonna start a new chat here with 5.5. I don't think we need high. Let's do a medium and use at computer use.
You got it. You got it in Codex already?
Yeah, I got it in Codex.
Crazy. Let's try.
Use computer use to interact with Chrome browser and tweet from my account. Hey, we're live and testing GPT 5.5 that just dropped. Join us on our live stream, but also quote tweet my previous tweet that has the live stream. Not an easy task. Definitely for computer use, not an easy task. Let's see, folks. Let's see. So right now we're going to use GPT 5.5, and on medium, I'm also on fast mode, so it burns like 1.5 the tokens. We'll see how the computer use is going to work. And the thing that I want to show you all this time, and finally I can show you, is that it's already clicking in Chrome while I'm focused on here. So it's already doing the clicks in Chrome. Chrome is already on X, logged into Outrain. I can see your live broadcast in sidebar. So I'm going to use It found the live stream post. It clicked. You guys see this? It clicks the thing. It's going to do quote. Are you seeing this? Let's go. This is beautiful. And now it's going to post for me. You guys see the little cursor? It's going to focus. Hopefully it's focusing.
Do not let Nikita see this, guys. Didn't have it.
Nikita, don't look at it. I have the quote tweet drafted against the live stream post, ready to send. Because this is publicly posted, please confirm. Should I click post now? Yes. Let's go.
Alex, did you give it a prompt to wait for confirmation, or is that default?
It's default.
That's great. That's great.
It's clicking, it's sending, and it's sent. This was awesome. This is, folks, this is computer use with 5.5 and posted and verified. This new quote tweet is live on your it did the verification as well. Folks, I want to welcome Peter Gostev from Arena AI to the show. Peter, welcome. We just did a live stream with you, 2 days ago, talked about GPT Image, and now we're talking about a new model, GPT 5.5, that just dropped from OpenAI. First of all, thank you for joining. Second of all, impressions from you. Would love to hear about this model, please.
Yeah, let me You know what? I feel like I can hear you from two places, and I clearly have you open too many times.
All right. So while you fix this, I was just
let me give me a second.
I will reiterate with folks that we just saw a demo of computer use with GPT 5.5, and I asked it not only to post something on Twitter, which is easy. I asked it to quote tweet another tweet of mine with the live stream. There's quite a lot of like intelligence involved in like figuring this out, and they did it like super fast. We all saw it happening on the fly, and I think it's incredibly cool. Peter, let me know when you're ready. There you go.
Just to be clear, before that, across the board, state of the art, right? From thinking and above, everything is state of the art.
Yeah,
correct?
State of the art
Crazy.
while using completely like what 20% less tokens or something, or sorry, like almost 50% less tokens. All right, folks, let's welcome Peter Goste from Arena to the show to talk about GPT 5.5.
Yeah, so I haven't had huge amounts of time with it, but it was certainly fun to test. I would say the biggest thing that jumps out is that it's the first time when a model can actually properly do long-running tasks. All previous models, I know they kept saying, oh, like you can do it for many hours, but every time, I don't know about you guys, like I shouted it, I'll do anything I can think of. I come up with these constructs of how it's supposed to do it, and then it never does it. So that was always very annoying. And now is the first time when I could really, maybe it's not completely, I say work for 10 hours and it works for 10 hours, but without too much prompting, you can get it to work for a long time. So I'll give you one example. Yesterday, I came up with a little idea. It's not done yet, considering how long it's running, but I wanted to kind of generate some images, create an app, and create a whole kind of experience around it. And what I did before going to sleep, I came up with a prompt, and then I queued up. You know how you do? You queue up like 10 more prompts to like keep it going.
Yeah.
And then when I woke up, I thought, okay, I'll be done, and we'll probably be done at like 3 a.m. I woke up, it hasn't literally finished the first one. So like all of this queuing up was completely unnecessary. So it just kept going.
Oh, wow.
So that's the first time I've ever had that happen.
So how long did it run for?
So at about 8.5 hours, I kind of stopped it to just kind of check in with it and try and rearrange things a little bit just to speed it up. Like, for example, I wanted to use sub-agents a bit more. So it's like, so it's not going to run for another 20 hours. So, but yeah, I don't know how long it would have been running for. I'll tell you, even now, I've got the button to do an update on Codex app, and I literally cannot do it because it's going to ruin my long running tasks. And I've got a couple of I've got 3 now long running tasks running. One, let me just check. I think it's been running for about 7.5 hours, and I have this little app that I have just for my work where I've got like different visualizations pulling in the data, and I've got very custom visualizations that I'm doing. And it's kind of, I vibe coded in a really crappy way. So it's like, it's all breaks and so on. So I want to keep migrating it to like better architecture. Yeah, it's been going for like 7 hours. Every time I check,
7 hours.
Yeah, literally
Wow.
started today, 7 hours. So I can't even update the bloody app because it keeps running.
It's still running.
Yeah.
It's quite crazy. So like Ralph loops are dead essentially with models that are essentially running through all this time. 7 hours is insane.
Yeah.
What else did you notice? What differences?
So it feels, I mean, it's kind of silly, but it does feel nicer. Like it does feel kind of a little bit smarter and just nicer to speak to, and it just kind of explains things a bit better. So I feel like when I'm trying to get something done, sometimes with like, especially starting with like, I want to say maybe 5.2 or something like that, it would just be kind of abrupt and just kind of do stuff. And then you're like, I don't really know what's happening. Yeah. This one is a bit better. I don't know if it's an important change or they just changed the style of it or something like that. So it's like a bit hard to know for sure. But it does feel kind of smarter that way. I did some kind of one-shot 3D generations like I like to do, and that was noticeably better, kind of one-shot versus the 5.4. Yeah, so that was really nice. Yeah, I was using computer use as well, like you're saying. I like that as well. I would say though, like I still feel like we are not quite there in terms of it being like quite as good as I hope it would be. So what I mean is that what I want for it to do is that it can literally use the app itself and then like properly reflect on what's wrong and then make it better. And it's like it's not quite getting it. Like there's not really any model. And I used it with Opus as well, with like Gemini. They'll kind of look at it and just say, oh yeah, that's good, and just not really register very obvious issues. But I don't know if it's like vision kind of sucks still or what, I don't know. But so it kind of does something, but it's like feels like it needs like another probably generation, probably with vision.
Yeah. I we're just getting it now, but I'm running this now with 5.5 medium and computer use. And I asked it to go and download the brand kit that we generated from Claude AI and just generate like a launch video for itself. So we're gonna see. But this is a long running task. I don't know if like we're gonna sit here, but folks, I can show you like what's going on. We have kind of a like it went and found the brand kit and says the kit files are now in this folder. The README, the tokens, the Claude Design system skill, next some scaffolding, the hyperframes project. So basically, all the tools that I told you about before, GPT 5.5 is now using computer use, plus via Codex using the like writing CLIs and doing some things to create a video. The only thing that I have, and this is a comment that I want to give, not 5.5 related necessarily, it's just a comment about how Codex works. Peter said, you said you queued up some stuff. I chose the steer function versus the queue up function. So steer is something that only I think GPT has. I think Devin also has steer, but GPT, the model has steer. Is while it's running, you can steer it. So it's great for long running tasks. Peter, like the one that you said you had like 8 hours. Usually in Claude, you have to pause it or stop it completely with the tool calls and say, hey, do this instead. GPT has steering enabled into its thinking, so you can actually tell it to do some stuff. So I can say, for example, don't. You guys see this probably. Don't render the video. Just show me the hyperframes UI. UI to confirm before. And say, by the way, don't render the video. This is steering. So now it'll throw this in the middle of the reasoning process, and then you can kind of like, you can join the long running process with your thoughts. Anything else we should cover, folks? I'm seeing this Mythos comparison is very interesting. Wolfram, you want to talk about this a little bit? Because I think LDJ showed us this, and we can show this once again.
LDJ had a nice comparison with the scores, and the Mythos model still has some advantages. Can you bring it up, or should I?
Yeah, I'm bringing it up. I just checked on ChatGPT. I don't have 5.5 still on ChatGPT.
Yeah, me neither.
All right.
So basically terminal bench, it's very, very close, but in humanity's last exam, which is not the last, it is still a big gap over there, especially even if it's using tools, it's still over 12% of a difference percent point.
You're talking about the unreleased Claude Mythos from Anthropic compared to GPT 5.5 that we all just got in Codex. So I think that's also a big difference.
Yeah, GPT 5.5, when everybody can access it, this is what they said. It is close to Mythos. It's much better than Opus 4.7 in all those scores. I think almost all those scores. There's somewhere Opus 4.7 is still ahead, but it's very, very close. And yeah, like Sam Altman said, it's great to have the AI available for everybody and not restricted or different classes of who can access what.
Do you guys read this this thing where some like Claude Mythos was actually available for some folks on Discord, and what they used it for is to generate some websites? That was really funny. On the first day or something, a bunch of folks on the Discord got access to Claude Mythos. What they use this like not to jailbreak or like break computers, just to just generate websites. I love it.
But no benchmark has shown, and mine doesn't show either. That's what I do the vibe checks for, is if the personality has changed, because 5.4, it was so boring and robotic to talk to.
Yes.
Which is something, if you want to, you notice the same. When you have your agent and you talk to your agent and it feels like just a robot, it's not as much fun to use it. And so I hope I will test this. Hopefully they also changed a bit in this Yeah.
I gotta ask you. I gotta ask Peter. I gotta ask you guys who are focusing on evals. How do we even test this? Is this all just vibes? You just like work with your assistant for a while, and then like, oh, this is better. Because I know that I have no idea. Like I know that Opus is better than GPT 5.4, but I don't know of an eval that compares this. Wolfram, what do you think?
Could call it a private eval in a way. When I talk to an agent or anywhere, when I get a good AI response that is funny, that touches me on a level, then I copy it into a quotes file and I keep it that way. And I always write which AI did that. And so basically I could do a list of which quotes came from which models. And I know that Opus is super, super strong in there. And ChatGPT has 4.0 were the last models where I had some quotes from. So basically, that is my personal thing. Though I notice when I copy a lot of stuff in there, that is a model that I really like.
I see. Okay, so we'll see, and we'll see how many like things you quoted from GPT 5.5. Peter, on Arena, I'm assuming this model is just now running. There's no confirmation like we had with GPT Image that this was a masking tape or duct tape or something, right?
No, I think there's no API yet. Do you guys see that?
There's no API. It's just like available in Codex and not even in ChatGPT. I only have it in Codex. I think some people said rolling out in Codex CLI. Do you have it in ChatGPT already?
So I haven't checked, but it should be in ChatGPT and in Codex as well. But it's not going to be on API as far as I understand, at least for the time being. So we can't test it ourselves as well.
So we have the task that I asked it for. Again, I want to show you guys that involved computer use, involved a bunch of other stuff, involved the hyperstream. So I asked it, I asked GPT 5.5 to create a launch video for itself. This is the prompt. Open a new window, go to CloudAI.design, download the ThursdAI brand kit into a folder, and then generate a launch video using the brand kit for GPT 5.5 using our brand guidelines with hyperframes. It's quite a complex thing to do. And now we have some sort of a video. This is with medium thinking. Let's see. It still controls my browser. I'm not sure what I can show you, but this is the video that it generated. Let's take a look. Let's play, dismiss. Okay, dismiss. I asked it not to render the video. Let's play. Oh, this is pretty cool. Built for Agentic. I wish I could like zoom in here. I'm not sure how I can like full screen this video. Okay. Oh, maybe. Okay, like this. Let's start again. There's no music, but here's the video. Breaking model drop. GPT 5.5 just landed. This is literally our branding kit built for agentic work. Write and debug code, research across the web, operate software. More capable, same pace. Latency matches GPT 5.5. We're live testing it right now. No hype, no fluff, just a signal. ThursdAI news.yt. This was impressive, folks. This is very impressive. I will say specifically it's impressive because I tested both 5.4, the previous model, and Opus was way better than 5.4 before and like creating these videos. This model not only just created the video, it understood what to talk about, it understood where to get the brand kit, it downloaded the brand kit, and did all things very quick as well. How long did it run? 9 minutes. It ran for 9 minutes while we were covering this. Yep.
One thing you might want to check is front-end design, because that thing, front-end and design in general, is something that is specifically known to be hard to the Codex models. All of them. So it's gonna be.
So we did kind of test this.
If we have competition for Claude.
I mean, we did kind of test this. Okay, so we asked this. And this one is kind of like not the best. This is the comparison with 3D. The 3D is here, but like this front-end design is not the best one. And then we also checked it on our Olympus Mons Mars driver thing that we always tested with Nistan. This is lacking. Let's say it's lacking. Opus 4.7 was just incredible in this. But for regular web designs, I think the new meta is we have to test. And Peter, we talked about this when we went live with GPT Image.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think it's quite good enough, which is kind of odd, right? Because they obviously know it. That they need to get better at this. So it's kind of interesting why they can't quite get it right. I don't know why. So I guess, well, it's interesting if this is bad as we guess, and I don't know for sure, but if it is, means it's not pre-trained, right? It's like something in post-training that they're not quite getting right yet. But I do think with some like Codex or with the GPT 5.5, you just kind of need to fight it, and then it's great. But yeah, the initial instincts are terrible. So yeah, it's not one-shotting is much better with Opus.
Yeah, just for design's sake. In the case of just this video, I will say, like, I asked it to go and download the design. How should I say, the brand guidelines. I will say those are spot on. This looks like the brand guidelines for ThursdAI. You guys can see the logo clear. You can see the font rendered fine. Like all of this. I wouldn't say this is like the most beautiful design, but it's spot on what I asked it for.
Yeah,
but
and that's what I find as well. Like if you do have some guidelines, some structure, it's completely excellent. Like it's really, really spot on. But to do the initial thing, yeah, I wouldn't rely on it, to be honest.
But we do know the GPT image is great.
Yeah,
we know the GPT image is great. So how about we test this? You guys want to test this? Yeah, what type of web design would you want to imagine?
Absolutely do it.
Okay, let's do
Absolutely do it. Imagine it with GPT image, and let's see.
Let's see. So we're gonna open like proper Codex, not the little side window here that we have. We're gonna build. Nista, how about we do the Mars thing, but with GPT image first?
Can I just give you the design file that Claude generated? And
no, but hold on. Hold on. We said that like we want to one-shot it with the thing. Yes, we know that like using the design. Peter just said using the design, it's really good at. We want to see the ability to use Codex as a stand-in for like the creativity of GPT 5.5. Okay, send me the design file. I'll take a look. But for now, I want to say
you can just copy the prompt and you can say generate a screenshot of this game from the Mars one
interface. First with image. How do you image gen? Image gen?
I guess.
Image 2. And then implement with code. Okay, let's do high thinking. On speed, it should be fine. Yeah, on speed, it should be fine. Okay, so folks, we're generating. You guys are not watching this, of course. Wait. Yeah, there we go. In the new Codex, we're generating the Olympus Mons driver rail thing, but in parentheses, I said, generate a screenshot of this interface first with image gen, GPT image 2, and then implement with code. And I send it. So this is kind of the new method that we talked about, that you can substitute Opus's creativity with potential with GPT image, because it is really good at web design. It's really good with the different things. And it says, I'm using the image and make sure the requested visual target, then I'll build the working version with 3GS.
Let's see.
Alex, while this working, I can show you a fun project.
Please.
This is the one that's been working overnight.
By the way, Peter, you look exactly like it generated you.
From GPT image 2, not GPT 1.5.
Yeah.
1.5, he didn't look like exactly like Peter. We were showing your examples in the beginning of the show. Feel free to share.
So, how does it work here? Oh yeah. So what I was imagining. So basically, I know I haven't actually thought of this, but in the demo they showed this idea that you can generate these 360 images.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, that's a really cool idea. What if you actually just generate a whole bunch of them? So what I was getting you to do is to plan out the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, kind of what that would look like. And I tried to do this kind of 360 view of them. What
this
I tried
is
to do,
GPT image 2, right?
Yeah. So this is GPT image 2. Together with all of the planning, all of the coding, all of the coordination is by 5.5. And what I try to do is to kind of create this street view kind of view.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you can see still a bit buggy, but the idea is that what I was trying to do is to do kind of a walkthrough. I'm going to try and fix it. It's still working, but this is like a few hundred images. And then I can just like go into here and then like look around.
That's
see
insane.
what that's like.
Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible.
It's incredible. Let me just repeat so that folks understand what's going on here. GPT Image 2 can do 360 images, equirectangular images format that you can then put in and like rotate around. It can do them very, very well. Peter, you're saying you're generating a few hundreds of images and you can walk through that whole universe that was generated.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely insane. That's
this
insane.
is bonkers.
So you built like a street view thing completely generated with image view. Obviously, it's not 3D because it's all equirectangular, but that's how Google Street View works, right? It's all equirectangular images one after another, and they have like this nice animation that they fake.
Dude, this is a crazy demo, man. You should post. Holy cow! Wow.
Yeah.
How long did it go for? How long did it go for? And also, how many images generated?
So I need to check how many images. I think it ended up so far. I think I have like about 400, but I'm gonna. So the issue that I have is that what I was trying to do is I was trying to like get it to like in the same way like you can do Street View where you can literally move from one to the next. But it's like it's a little bit buggy and it's like the images don't quite align. And I think that is the. I mean, I think I'm asking a lot from it, right? To plan like literally everything. And I think that I probably need like many thousands for it to work properly. So I just need to work out like what's the nice balance. So you're asking how long did it work for? I came up with this idea at about like 1 a.m. last night, London time. So that was like end of your working day. And then it worked the whole night in the morning. Then I was like tweaking and giving it a bit more direction, and it's still working. So I guess, I don't know, it's going to be coming up to 24 hours in terms of to build this. But I think maybe I went a bit too ambitious to try and create the whole thing. I think if I had like one road with like some cool stuff, I think I probably could have done that overnight. So maybe if you've got like a bit more better scoped ideas, maybe you can try that as well. But yeah, you can literally do it in Codex now.
That's so cool. You basically created Street View of a place that doesn't exist.
Yeah, well, it did exist, but we don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, we don't know. It existed, but we don't know what it looks like. And then the hallucinated, like latent space version of it that comes from GPT Image. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
The only caveat to this is that at least I didn't quite work out how I can get the 4K resolution. So some of it is like looks a little bit rubbish. Just because, and you'll see a bunch of artifacts here. I did also use upscaling to just get it a bit nicer, but if you zoom in, some of it kind of looks bad. And I don't think it's because the image model couldn't technically do it, but I think it's just because the resolution that you can get access to via Codex is not the highest. So then it starts just doing that. So that's like a little bit of a downside. So if you're going to try and replicate this, so I was using Topaz upscaling via Replicate. But yeah, I mean, it cost me some amount of dollars as well. Yeah. Well, dollars I have to pay for it separately. So yeah, not ideal.
Wow. But this is like a very long-lived project. Meanwhile, we have this generated. How about this UI, folks? This is the Mars UI that GPT Image generated. It feels a little bit better than what we just saw, yeah? So this feels a little bit nicer than this. Where's our other UI? Hold on.
If you plug it into Codex and it's gonna end up like this, OpenAI, you need to end-to-end train on this. Like you have the entire pipeline. Just try in the sense.
So this is the UI that Codex built for the same thing. This is the UI that GPT Image imagined for us.
Okay. Maybe we should have fed this UI and then told it, okay, just feed it this image and just say,
listen, that's what we're doing. Where are you?
That's legal.
That's literally the whole process.
That's legal. That's still OpenAI. That's still GPT.
It's legal, yes.
It's a different GPT. But yeah, there's procedural terrain. I'm going to add generated Mars backdrop texture to the scene. So I added the steering. I don't know how long this is going to take, folks. This is on 5.5 high.
A while. Yeah.
It's going to take a while, but look at this. This UI is significantly better than this thing. Like night and day. And I think, Nissan, could you check the math here? Can you take a look? Did the GPT Image do the math correct? I'm not sure.
No, the math is wrong.
The math is wrong.
Okay, at least.
Yeah, but it's not that wrong. Like it should be 5 kilometers per second for orbital and 7 for the other one, and the rail length it should be around 290 to 320. So it's interesting that it got close. To be honest, that's also wild to me.
So there is a long ass file that I don't know if I can like open already that does some stuff. Now there's a bunch of thinking going on. Oh, there we go. It generated the backdrop for Mars. I asked it to. I will say, to be very clear, I asked it like, hey, there's gonna be stuff that you can do with 3GS, generate an image.
Can it just generate textures for the
that's why I asked. I asked for
planet?
textures, but it didn't work. I said, hey, if there's things you cannot code like visuals, feel free to use for backgrounds.
There's a Mercator projection thing that it can generate, and then that can wrap around the entire Mars. It should have that data. Like that's a lot of public data. Like, can you?
Oh, you want like an actual Mars generation?
I want a full Mercator texture to be wrapped around Mars. It's just MERCATOR.
Okay, Codex asked.
Let's just try. I don't know, one shot, same prompt with the image.
It doesn't really look like that, folks. Wait, hold on. Like, yeah, we have an example. I think the Codex actually, it used the server and served the page. It does not look quite like the image yet.
Yeah, no, you might need Opus for that. But,
what thinking are you on? How much thinking?
High, yeah. So okay, so this is what we imagined. Let's see what Codex says. But like, this is what we imagined. Yeah, this beautiful thing with GPT Image. This is currently what we have. It's not quite the same.
Yeah,
it's not quite the same.
Look, Alex, it's fast enough that we can try extra high, and I think it's fair.
No, but it also doesn't work. I think it didn't finish.
Oh, it started working. Okay.
Oh, it started working.
Hey,
but
wait.
Let's say the design is not very close to the image one that we imagined here.
The numbers are correct now.
Numbers are correct.
Okay.
So we have 3D, but it's not the planet. There's no the backdrop is there. I'm not quite sure why.
Oh yeah, the backdrop is below it. Okay, funny. All right.
And then some of the stuff. Okay, folks. So this experiment failed. let's call it. Let's go. We can call it. What we wanted to is to see if we can substitute the creativity of GPT 5.5 with GPT Image. We did that. We got an image. But GPT 5.5 is not quite there.
I would say the trick there, which I appreciate will be hard for you to test now just because we don't have all evening, but it's worth. So the way it works best is if it can do the loop of checking and improving, then it can do a lot better. But this is not, this is kind of a hack. Like it should really get that more right straight away.
And it kind of does this. Look, if you guys know watching. So we have it checking its own work. So it says, okay, here's a screenshot. And then it says, desktop render is clean. The math populated, no page errors, and the WebGL canvas in full size. I'll add to chat and say, it looks nothing like you showed me with GPT Image. What? This is awful. So like it didn't. I don't think it looked. Could it be that they generated the image but didn't look at the image itself? Because I didn't like forcibly provide this image. We'll see.
So I'll give you one example. Is that when it was doing the migration of the app, I wanted to change the architecture, but not the way it looked. And it originally generated some garbage like that I didn't like. And basically I told it off, and what it was doing later was literally measuring the pixels.
Yeah.
So it had some, I don't even know how it does it exactly, but it had some metrics it was measuring and saying, oh, it's like that many pixels off, so I'm going to keep going and improving it. And you look at it, then it looks like much, much closer to the original. So it's still like, I'm not saying this is a good way of doing it.
I think you're right, Peter. I think it didn't do the thing. I told it looks nothing like what you showed me, and says, oh, you're right. I treated the GPT as a vibe target and then shipped a much plainer engineering HUD. I'm going back and making the actual page chase the mockup. Denser glass HUD, stronger rail glow, richer Mars backdrop, etc. So now it's going to do the thing we actually tested. Basically, folks, don't believe your models. Double check them, verify them is the thing we're telling you right now, right? Yeah, because what else do we think?
Yeah.
Peter, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No, there are always tricks to using these. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I don't want to. I think we're gonna read a lot of hype about like GPT 5.5 or the next model or the next, but it's never. We are not at AGI yet, right? So let's remember, we still need to trick them a little bit, massage them, understand how they behave. I would say I have had a couple of times, and when I was testing it, where it was doing something like a little bit weird. Where, for example, I was asking it to basically do a little bit like what we were just doing in terms of validating its work and work until completion and so on. And then it just randomly created like an automation that would run every 30 minutes. I'm like, what the hell? That's literally never happened. Like, why would you do that? And then it just like took my work until completion somehow as if like it needs to run an automation. So I think that probably, I don't think it's like dumb or something, but it's probably just behavior is a bit different. So I could imagine if you're going to try it yourself now and do exactly the same thing as before, you might be disappointed for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. But as always, just adjust a bit. If it's a new base model, especially, it'll probably be a bit different. So yeah, it's not AGI. Definitely try it and get used to it if you're using it.
Yeah, one shot is fun for demos, but like for an actual thing, you have to iterate. You have to work. You have to learn the model. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do here, folks. So let's do. We've been on there for a while now, like almost 4 hours. So let's do a recap and like start talking about this. We got an insane week, just an absolutely insane week, capping with quite an incredible model that looks like based on benchmark state of the art in most anything. I won't treat Mythos benchmarks as relevant because Mythos is not available, and those are just like marketing numbers from Anthropic. We covered pretty much everything. How could we not? We're almost live for 4 hours. We covered pretty much everything on the stream. Thanks, Peter. Peter had to drop. Looks like, but thank you, Peter Goste, for joining us and giving us first thoughts of the GPT 5.5. Obviously, the big release from this week is GPT 5.5 from OpenAI that we were waiting for most of the stream and finally dropped. We also had, we talked about GPT Image, which is a huge model that we're now trying to collaborate GPT Image and GPT 5.5. We talked about, some people asking, did we talk about privacy filter? Yes, absolutely. We talked about GPT's, OpenAI's latest open source called GPT Privacy, not even GPT, just privacy filter. That's Apache 2 licensed model that's on the Hugging Face Hub. We talked and demoed at length Claude Design, which is a new skill that we're all getting very excited about. Just Claude.ai/design. We talked about the fact that Anthropic reset the quotas for all of their users. So basically, if you did quoted out for this week, you can go back and look at the quotas. We talked at Cursor computer use. We showed off computer use, a lot of stuff. So crazy week in AI. I think at this, it's time for us to drop because with almost 4 hours on live, with almost 5,000 of you tuning in throughout like different things, it's been a great show. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. If you liked any part of this, or if you missed any part of this, the podcast will likely just be us talking because there's no way to edit down whatever happened here. We'll try to, but yeah, follow us on socials as the ending video on the stream is going to show you now. Thank you so much for joining Wolfram Ravenwolf, LDJ, Yam Peleg, Nistan Tahiraj, and Ryan Carson and Peter Gostev, as we covered like everything that happened in the AI every week. And thank you all for joining us as well. Everybody who tuned in to the live stream, everybody who like been testing out and sending us links and got excited with us about GPT 5.5. Everything that we talked about, every link is going to be sent via ThursdAI.news. So thank you so much, and we'll see you here next week. For now, I think we're signing off with a Claude Opus generated video. So I think it's going to be loud. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to sign off with a regular one because I don't want to make you mute. All right. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.